Sir, my voice is audible. Rajesh sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, Audi.
Now, today's start session. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. On behalf of Professor Ramkrishna More College, Science and Commerce Autonomous, it is my pleasure to extend a warm welcome to each one of join us of the 10 days National Online Capacity Building Program on research methodology and the magic of statistics. We express the gratitude. We are truly honored by the overwhelming response and the device of group of the participations gathered here representing rich specificity experience and experts. Now, program overview. This program has been certified with the commitment and forecasting deeper understandings of research methodology and the of magic of statistics. Over the next 10 days, we will delve into the topic sharing, inciting, and enhancing of collective knowledge in this crucial area. Now, participant energy to be a part of this transformative learning experience. We are active engagement and enthusiasm of the undoubtable contribution to the success of this program. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce the guest speaker, Dr. Rajesh Bhoite, sir, our establishment facilitation of the speaker behalf of knowledge and expertise to guide us through the journey. Their commitment to excellence in research and statistics will be undoubtable, the inspire and empower each of one us. Dr. Rajesh Bhoite, sir, serving the head of the Department of Business Economics, hold in diverse range of qualification, including MCOM, SET, MA Economics, PGDS, MA in Psychology, LLB, and PhD. With the over 15 years experience in associate professor and PhD guide, has made significant contribution to academy. Dr. Rajesh Bhoite and executives the publications record have authored in 57 research paper and published 5 research books. Additionally, he has actively participated as a resource person in 32 international contributions. Now, and high over to Dr. Rajesh Bhoite, sir. Dr. Rajesh Bhoite, sir, please guidance our participation, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Amol. Am I audible?
Sir, you audible, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I give my special thanks to More College Management, the principal and the coordinators. So let's start with the today's session. It's all about the literature review. Now, there are two kind of researches people do. Basically, what we do is that we choose the topic and then we try to find out who has worked on it already. And the good researchers will read first literature review and then they will come to their topic. So both the ways are you can do your PhD, but the second one is very good. Whenever you have to do any kind of research, see the area of interest and see how many people have done research on it or in the related areas. And after that, you have to decide what is not what is not done by them, what is not covered by them, and then you have to choose that area of research which is known as a research gap. So, as I told you, our experience says that many times students take the topic and then they have to struggle for the literature review. So today I'll just try to make you understand what is a literature review and how can we use it, what to write in it, and how can write in a proper way, what should be included in it. So I share my PPT. Give me 1 minute. Yeah, is it visible now, Amol? Please let me know.
Oh, yeah, sir, visible.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Myself, Dr. Rajesh. I'm from Anjuman Islam's AP College, Mumbai, head of the economics department and a research guide in a Hinduja College of Mumbai. Now, the first question comes, what is literature review? What is a review of literature, people say, or some people say literature review. What does it mean by? When you have to do any kind of research, you have to see that the research is not overlapped. It means that others have already worked on it, and again, you are working on it. So there should not be this kind of overlapping of the same topic, same area, geographical area, and same kind of an elements. So we have to see others' work. What have they done already in your area of interest? Say I want to study what is the socioeconomic condition of the people or of the fishermen in Maharashtra. So first I have to find out at a national level how many people have done researches on the fishermen community. Is it right? So I first need to understand what work has been done. Secondly, I have to find out what is the scope for me. It means that what I have to add in that which others have not been able to add still yet, right? So I have to find out a research gap or the area which they have not included. So that will be the my topic of research. Certainly, no topic is untouched in this world. As a research scholar, we feel that we are doing original research fine. That is original because it is empirical. Your geographical area is different, right? Your respondents are different. Your objectives, hypotheses are different. So it's a original work, but it is not new. Why not new? Because in the entire world, in the entire globe, no research is as such which is untouched. So what I want to study now, it has already been done by somewhere, some by some people. Then we have a question, then if they have done, it means I should not do. No, you have to do, but you have to try to find out what they have not done on that. For example, I want to study socio-economic condition of the fisherman. The sociology person will only focus on social aspect of the fisherman in a particular geographical area. The psychological people will try to study psychological perspective of the fisherman, right? The people from education background will study what is the educational status of the fisherman in India. So try to understand every area of discipline you can add the dimension and choose your topic. Is it clear? So where we get this idea? We get this idea only after seeing others' work. So it is very important to see the literature review. Many times, many research scholars are just trying to see others' literature review, take, copy it, and modify. You learn nothing in that. Why? Because until you read that work, you will never understand what have they done. So try to find out the missing, what is missing in them. You have to get that, and this way you can choose your own dimension. So as I told you, you have to find out others work and see that what they have done, so that you come to know what you have to do in your research work. This is what the literature review exactly is. Now, you may have a question. Can we do research without literature review? That's not possible because secondary data you have to use to relate your original work or your empirical study. Now, why is so important? Literature review, why should we do? Because the work duplication is avoided, right? You understand by reading others, you understand what methods they have used, what kind of research they have done, and you can refer their work for your work polish, right? It means that suppose now I study 50 research articles, empirical, I do 40, I do refer 40 thesis. Every thesis has its own research methodology, right? They have chosen some primary data methods or secondary data methods. They have applied some test, right? They have their output already derived. So you got to know from all this work and you get an idea what should I do. Many times students are not able to understand what should be the my sampling technique. They are confused between the random and non-random, probability and non-probability, right? So here, after studying this all people work, you get lots of information to choose your right method of study. So that's why it is very important to read the literature reviews. You can understand that your work has to be unique, it has to be different than other. So you can carry the empirical and primary database research after referring the literature review of other people, and you come to know the recent area of study you have to carry out. Many times I also believe that when I refer many research work, I exactly it reaches me to the place where something is remained, and that something is remained will be the my topic of research. Now the other slide is, as we have only worked 1.5 hour, so I have to be little, I cannot elaborate more, might be sometimes, but I have tried to cover everything which is needed. Now ROL, there is always question mark. I also had debate with some referees and some guides. What should it be included exactly? I have seen the thesis where people have only written about the secondary based articles. For example, their 90 articles only are based on the journal articles. Lack of theses, lack of reports and working papers. Don't do this. You have to, some topics are like that where the reports are already available by the government of India or by the other private agencies. Please refer those. So I will recommend you that in your in your PhD research work, try to take maximum research articles in a PDF form, that too in a standard journals published with having proper methodology. Then take the thesis, because thesis is one of the best source of literature review, because every thesis has a proper methodology, guide is involved there, a student is involved there, the student has referred number of people indirectly, they are involved there. So thesis will give you the crystal clear idea about the methodologies. So thesis you have to use some research topics like Skill India Mission or MNREGA or the employment in India, or we can say the poverty in India. Such research work, you have the reports available online on the Ministry of India. You can refer those also, because those reports are based on the government service, right? So when the reports are based on the government service, then you can easily get those reports online and you can refer them for your uh, literature review. And the last one, books. Books are not mandatory. Books should not be more, but at least 5 books you can refer, because the best advantage is what I want to tell you now. The best advantage is that from all these literature review sources, you will get your theoretical chapter base. Got it? It means that if we use all these research articles, theses, and reports and working papers and books, you get in it the all theoretical material to be used for your chapter, which shows the theoretical background, isn't it? तो समझ लीजिए 100 article 50 articles I chose, then 30 thesis I got 80, I got 10 reports of government 90, I refer 5 books. Now every article you have chosen or every thesis you have chosen to read, it has some theory knowledge or theory material which you can use for your chapter.
सुनो ना, मुझे उसका स्क्रीन नहीं
Hello.
दिख रहा है।
Please
No,
mic to yourself. Please mute कीजिए.
yeah, some have unmute. Yeah, okay. Am I audible, Amol?
Yes, sir. You're audible,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, so please, I'm continuing. I was trying to tell that in a research article, thesis, reports, and books, you get the theoretical background for your chapter number 1 or chapter number 3, according to your university layout. In Bombay, we have the first chapter, research methodology, and the third chapter, theoretical perspective. In other universities, they have the first chapter, theoretical perspective. So all theory material, you can get this sources from this referred research ROL. The next one we have to say where to get the it. That is a very important question. Students nowadays, our should ask that kahan milega, where to get this all information. Google Scholar, you get the PDF, right? Then you also get it on the some free access engines. Not everything is free. Some journals are paid. Now you alone cannot pay the amount that is not affordable. So what to do? I tell you the way. I think in Pune, I already have used Gokhale Library for my research long back in 2011 to 15. In these years, I have used Gokhale Library. I took their subscription. I also joined Data Institute of Govandi, Mumbai. I also joined the SNDT of Churchgate. Now, why I joined them? I joined them to get the articles and the base of my literature review. So I had to pay them some fees, nominated a very small amount of fees they take. So you take a fees and take a membership and go there. They allow you to access their all whatever subscriptions they have taken. They all allow you download all your PDF and save in a CD or save in a pen drive. We were allowed to save in a CD. So in 2 days, I downloaded 100 articles in my CD. I came home, I sat, and I started doing my literature review. So you have to also be careful where you get. Even Google, you can get PDF, but only try to see that it should be a PDF and it should have published in journal. Okay, it should be peer or UGC care or ABDC or Scopus, Spinger. There are so many. You have to choose a good and the quality work articles only. Only for articles, I'm telling you. And for thesis, we have the only one source code in India. That source is a Shodhganga. Shodhganga is a blessing for today's research scholars. We had no this option. We had to go to the library and open the thesis and write down what they have done. Today, you are getting everything available online. Shodhganga is having thousands of this is uploaded. Just put the keyword of the area of your research and you get the information. Okay, Pratyusha, online library access, you have to pay. For example, ICICR, you can take the subscription by paying them a meager fees of 2000 something. You have to find out the nearby institutions which are the library resourceful, and you have to take their membership because freely it is all not available and it is unaffordable. हम इतना खर्चा नहीं कर सकते, right? So you have to approach them, take their membership just to get your base of resource. That's a stock of your research articles, and then at home you can start working on your literature review. I will teach you how to draft the ROL after this. After theoretical explanation, I'll explain you how to draft the literature review in a proper way. So free access is not everywhere. Whatever you get online in Google, you get. And many you get, I know they are giving many PDF are available. And Shodhganga, too, already it is freely available to you. You can download entire thesis as well, right? So you have to use this. Now, after this, we have the another one. What to mention now? This is the question of students many times, and why you all are here. Literature review is not more than 15-20 lines. You should not write one page. It's wrong. If you're writing literature, one page, that is very inappropriate. 15 line to more, 15 to 20 line, much more. Now, what to be included? What to be included in this? Now, there are two kind of sources I told you, articles and second one, thesis. Now, for the article, I will try to tell you what should be included. Article based on secondary data. Please carefully listen. Article based on secondary data. Such articles do not have any empirical work. They do not have any particular methodologies. So it is very difficult to write literature review on such article, but still you can use it. How you can use it? You write what is the study about. You write what was the objective of the study of the research. You write what theoretical observations they have given. Now, one thing I want to tell you is that I experienced when I see the papers, I find that some topics like India's Skill India mission, some topic like startups, you will find that out of 50 articles, 35 articles will be having same content. Why? Because they have only written the narratives of the what's the policy of India. So all 35 will show you the same thing. Schemes by India and meaning of startup India, stand up India. So there is a nothing new to take, but it does not mean you cannot use it. You can use it, but let me tell you frankly, there's no scope for writing at all. But still, you can use a few, a very few. Secondary based, without empirical research, take a very few. If the secondary based is on the government authentic surveys or some database of the agencies, then it's fine. Otherwise, generally just explain the topic as an opinion based. There's a no scope in writing. So what to do? Just write about, study about objectives and their theoretical opinion. Now the second is, this is very important, research journal, research paper with the primary data. I think many of you are scholars here. You know that the paper accepted by UGC Care, the paper accepted by ABDC, the paper accepted by Scopus Journal, they are only quality test. They will never accept your paper of secondary opinion based except the sociology education field. In a commerce economics nowadays, they are asking paper with a statistical inferences only. So in this paper, you get everything available. So these people have done a great job for us. Why? They have helped us to write our ROL. So in this paper, I'll give one sample. I will teach you one sample paper after this. Then you'll understand how exactly you can take the data from that research paper. Now we don't have a time. Every research paper, start to end, you can read, but every thesis you cannot read. Agree? One of the student of mine was he joined me and he told me that almost 3 years his guide said him to read and read. Reading has no bounds. It has no end. What to read, that is very important. It has to be taught to the student what is very important, what to use in that reading. Now, when you take an article, see that in that article, what was their topic, what they wanted to study, what was the type of study? Was it quantitative or was it qualitative? Was it cross-sectional? Was it longitudinal? Right? Was it empirical or was it secondary survey data based? You have to find out this. Did they use only qualitative method or quantitative method or the mixed method? You have to read, you understand from that. Then what are the objectives of their study? Don't write what they have written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You read them and you write in 2, 3 lines what they wanted to study. Then if they are given hypothesis, please mention in one line their null hypothesis because it will show the variables what they wanted to show. For example, I wanted to study the human capital and the NEP 2020, right? Now, NEP 2020 will surely increase the human capital base in India, what I feel. Now, I want to critically understand it. So I carry a primary survey. I ask teachers, principals, and other stakeholders to what extent they feel that NEP 2020 will be good in creating human capital, or our demographic dividend can be trained and made as a productive human capital, right? I want to study this. Now, my variables will be two. What? NEP 2020 education quality, and my second will be the human capital. So human capital depends on what? The education given. So education given is an independent variable and the human capital will be the dependent. So if I want have done this, so while writing a literature review, the other person should mention in one line what was the hypothesis of that research scholar. So it is there in such papers. You please write in the one line. Then you please mention the sample size, the universe taken, and the methods used. For example, if someone has done a research on 340 sample, I must mention in my ROL that the research was carried on a 340 people staying in Pune by using the non-probability convenient sampling or a snowball sampling or a quota sampling or whatever their method was. You mentioned that. If you can mention the tools they use for their work. For example, they use ANOVA or they use any other descriptive analysis. And very important, last you mentioned their findings, major findings. Now you will say, many students tell me, sir, itne findings, what to write in that? Very right. They have number of findings. So what you do, simple idea. You look the objectives, what they wanted to study, and see the findings in page number, during the last findings you see, and try to relate it. If they have given some finding related to that major objective, that is your line. So please mention only three, four lines, and last you just say what they have come to the conclusion. For example, as I told you, after having published a paper on NEP 2020 and human capital creation, I mentioned the finding that looking into the country's geographical spread, lacks of villages, the infrastructure problem, it is very difficult to create each and every child as a human capital. This is my final finding. Please pick it up and write in your literature review. Is it clear now? So this year, this time, if you write this way, even the people who are reading it, they will have two impact in their mind. The first impact will be that a research scholar is really a good one, and secondly, the person whose literature review, on whom you have written the literature review, whose work, that person also gets the honor for their work. Is it clear? तो जिन्होंने अच्छा काम किया उनका भी एक नाम उनके दिल में आता है कि यह कितना अच्छा काम किया, और आपने अच्छी तरह लिखा तो वो भी लगता है कि हाँ, रिटन वेरी नाइसली. सो दिस यू हैव टू without fail. I have seen many people just copying lines and writing. While reading that, 12, 15 lines, we don't understand exactly what is PPT not visible. Just wait. PPT was visible or not?
No, sir. PPT
Sir,
is
not
not visible,
visible.
sir.
Yeah, please
Not
inform.
visible.
Not visible.
It was
Not
visible
visible.
earlier.
Please,
Now it's visible. Now visible.
Not
Now
visible, sir.
visible, sir.
Yeah, please keep
Yes,
on
it
telling.
is visible.
Still not, sir.
Thank you
Still.
very much. Someone messaged me, and thank you very much because yeah, now it's visible clearly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I was telling, when you write a literature review, include this all, and your literature review will be very good. It will be appreciated as well. Then we have to come now to thesis work. Now, dear students and my friends, I will tell you, thesis is the best source of literature review. because every thesis is written with a particular care. Every thesis is written by giving 3 hours, 4 hours efforts, right? And every thesis is having expertise of your guide, you, and the statistician people, right? So please, thesis write very well. Same thing you can include in thesis. After reading thesis, you will, yes, PPT will get, Mr. Tapas, you'll get PPT after this, right? So try to understand is that after, acha, now many of you will ask me, sir, entire thesis I cannot read. Very true. Even I cannot read. I don't have time. So please note down what to do. Open a thesis. To take the title page in a folder to know what is the study, who has studied, and what is the name of the writer and department. Then find the RM chapter. Open the RM chapter. In the RM chapter, you get almost 6 to 7. You almost get 6 to 7 question answer in a RM chapter only. In RM chapter only, dear learners, you get all the information. And then open the last chapter. Which one? Finding, conclusion, and the solution. So these 2 chapters only of thesis will give you entire ROL information. No need to open theoretical perspective. No need to open data analysis. No need to open even hypothetical testing chapter, because everything is in the last chapter summarized by the research scholars. You know that you have seen the thesis work. People are summarizing everything in the last chapter. So the RM chapter and the last chapter, it's 2 chapter only you use for the literature review, and you can write a literature review in a very best way. Now, there are different literature reviews written by us, social science people, but I will tell you, we all write only narrative literature review. What is narrative? We only refer them, we read them, and we write what they have done. Scientific literature review, a very few time people are referring. Meta-analysis and critical literature reviews are done in a very specific studies. I think mostly the high index journals want you to do such kind of work. But for your PhD work, there's a no condition. You should use meta-analysis or, yeah, obviously, Mr. Janab Mohabbat, it doesn't, they don't demand, they don't tell you do on a critical literature review or do on a meta-analysis, collecting everyone's work. No, what is your requirement? It depending on your research proposal, what you have said and what your objectives have been set. So basically, I advise social scientists to work the narrative literature review only, because we are social scientists. Our studies based on the human behavior, which is uncertain. It has a flexibility. So we are not having 100% scientific learning, because it depends on the behavioral patterns many a time. So narrative literature review is always the best way for us, and accepted one. Now, what care you can take, students? What care you can take while writing literature review? Please see that your literature review is related to your topic and the objective of the study. You are, you want to study the problem of uneducated women, right? Then you can refer the educated women literature review, but your input will be something different, contradictory, because educated women may have the different segment and different kind of characteristics than the uneducated women. So your title has to be very clear. On that basis, you have to see the literature review. Secondly, area of research you are choosing, that you have to be very careful. Then time, location, you have to consider. Right methodology, empirical, you have to write it without fail. Others work, what they have done. Ethical consideration, I will not tell you many things about it, but you all know that ethical consideration has to be there. What does it mean? Be ethical. Now I tell you some incidences. Don't take it as a your study part. It's wrong incidents, and I discourage them to doing this. One of my students said that, Are sir, others already have done a PhDs now, so we can refer their reference page and we can track our ROL. A very unethical thought, right? This integrity is not accepted in academics. Then what's the you? It means you do not want to read only what others have done, and how you are going to produce your good work, and who will read our work then? Tell me. So you have to see that ethical consideration is always a priority. Someone asked me, I think in a chat box, "Okay, which ROL you can use." Now let me tell you one thing, student. ROL you have drafted, it doesn't mean it is ended. Till submission of your thesis, you can add new literature review available to you, right? So suppose if I am going to submit my thesis in the month of June, till May, I can add new literature review related to my study. So there is no restriction as such. So you do not think that acha, some people say now, even some query students have. I'm solving all those query because in every time, in every session, they ask such questions to us. Shall we use only current one and the old one, right? Shall we use only only current one or a old one? It's not like that. But don't take into 50s and 60s and 40s, right? Try to see in a 3 decades are adequate. You can take the work. Amul is am I audible? Because some are writing the voices.
Yes, sir. You audible, sir?
Acha, it means they have the problem, network problem, right? Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah. So this way you can take last 3 decades work you can take till the submission of your thesis. You can take the recent work available to you as well. Try to see to have only quality sentences, please. Now, what does it mean? I'm very particular about writing quality. Literature review should never be copied. It should be written in your own words because of two things. It gives you the scope of writing, and second, you are saved for the from the plagiarism, right? If you're copying, you're going to be caught in the plagiarism in future. Don't do it. Take some efforts, think, and redraft. See how lucky we are. Someone already has worked. We are just reading and writing. So why to use his language? Use our own language, right? Write in a simple way what they have done. I'll teach you one draft now after this. Okay, when we are about to finish, I'll teach you the real drafting of the literature review. So please use the quality sentences on the real work done. Don't write anything what you in your mind has no relationship with the reference you are using. So what they have done, try to write that in a simple way. Do not write what is going in your mind that time. But irrelevant, don't write. Then paraphrase in your own word. This is a very important nowadays. So PPT is visible, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Sukrasthi.
PPT is
Yeah,
visible, sir.
yeah. Some are questioning, though. I'm getting confused actually.
Actually, sir, some network issue
Yeah,
for some
I know. Yeah,
participation.
yeah, yeah, yeah. ठीक है. So please paraphrase in your own words. Let me tell you, students and the research scholar and the dignity, all professors. Literature review will be catching your more plagiarism in oral thesis. So be careful, literature. I believe that literature review and the RM chapter, these are the core of your PhD work. Rest things can be done. The questionnaire can be done. Statistician help can be taken. Analysis can be done. No problem. But your ROL, you learn something from it. So it is very important. And second, I said the chapter of RM. Now come to the theoretical we are come to the next slide. How many? Now, many of some of you may be having questions, so I'm clarifying all slides. How many to write? There is no as such rule how many you should write, but I have tried to give this structure to you according to my knowledge of this research. Ideally, I tell my students to write up to 50 research article in journals, that too primary based and having the methodology mentioned. If they have not mentioned any methodology, please don't refer those articles. Second, thesis up to 40 you can do. Reports and working paper, whatever available you can get, please get. If more than five you are getting, please take more than five, no problem. Books only five, okay? Because books, I don't think the strong resource for the literature, because there's a general understanding or general theoretical perspective. But this article, thesis, and reports, they have the purpose. What's the purpose they have? The reporting agents, the agencies which are drafting report, they have a clear cut objectives to carry out the survey. So that is useful. This is the person has chosen a topic and doing a primary data work. So she or he also has a very clear objectives and methodology. And empirical research article, people write on a different topics using the methodology. So up to this, you can do 100, you can do each 15 to 20 lines, not more than that. Try to write up to 40 pages. Now here it will be a little, people may not agree, because I give 40 because recently I found by some of the mentees, the guide told that your research thesis work has to be more than 300 page. The one student from the JJTU University, he contacted me saying that, sir, our university is saying that 350 pages are to be there. So I got very surprised. There's no such rule actually, right? But if there's a condition like this, then please increase your literature review chapter. Did you understand? So that your submission will not be a problem for you. Again, I'm telling you, no rule for how many to write, but this is suggestive. I'm giving you PPT. You can use this way. Now, this is the beauty of writing. I am very surprised to find in some places in Mumbai that students are writing only articles in their literature review. And thesis.
Please mute yourself,
How
please.
people are not using any thesis, how can you enrich your knowledge? Tell me, very frankly. और अगर औरों का अगर हमने सिस्टमैटिक वर्क देखा ही नहीं, तो हमें इनपुट कहाँ से मिलेगा? So this is are very very important. I'm again restating, reports and working papers are again important, and the empirical, मतलब primary database research articles are always good. These three are much more than enough if you're writing your literature review. Then why thesis already have told in narration, why research why working paper that also have told you. Now what's a I take the other slides. Avoid. What to avoid? Please don't copy paste the lines because you don't have a time. Don't do it. Taking sentences randomly and pasting is wrong. Analysis part take directly and copy paste is again wrong. Article having no title, no year, no journal name, no volume, no issue. Please don't take those articles. Okay, and only take the standard articles having the methodology and proper outcome. Now, what's the right way? Now, what's the right way? And some may say, ki, sir, how to start with? Please understand carefully. Don't open the article and start drafting. Never do this mistake. Start downloading and saving in your PC. Make a folder, journal articles. And in that article, suppose you download the one article, the name is Ajay Kumar. So save it as a Ajay Kumar, right? Second, you downloaded, Miss Kalavati. So you can write save as a Miss Kalavati. So your folder will get 50 articles. First, to collect it. Okay, and then you start drafting your literature review. It saves your time, it saves your energy, and you get a spirit of writing automatically. First two article writing you may find difficulty or irritating or boring also, but once you start doing now, believe me, spirit comes in you and you keep on liking it, you keep on lighting it, and you start doing it very nicely. So please first download. Acha, now you may tell us thesis kya kare. Shall we have to download entire thesis? I told you no. Make a folder thesis. Okay, indeed, again make a one. Again, you have to add new folder because thesis has number of pages. So I got a thesis of Mr. Prakash. So I open in the folder, I open a folder Prakash. In that folder, I only download three PDF. Which one? The first PDF of name of the university and the author name, sorry, the research scholar name and the research title, both page. Second page you download research methodology, okay, and the third PDF you download conclusion and finding. But these three only you download of 40. So 40 folders will be there. RM, yeah, Chris Bindra, as I told you, a research methodology topic of every thesis has objective, hypothesis, sampling method, methodology. So that topic is a very important for you. And the why last topic, why last why I said you last chapter, conclusion and finding, to find out what they have exactly found out. See, they started with some objective, right? Yeah, I'll explain that, Gayatri. You read the objectives, right? So they have some objectives in their research work, which they are going to conclude at last, whether the objectives were fulfilled or not. So that's why finding chapter is also important along with the RM chapter. The three chapters I'm writing here, I will add in this, and I must have added also. Okay. So see, I have written here, I'll add it here. For thesis, you can only download. For thesis, download only
Deepak sir, please mute yourself.
title page, then research methodology page, and uh, conclusion and finding page. ये तीन आप download करो, then you get everything in this, right? Then students, now we are going to the ending theoretical perspective. This is the format of APS style. Research article and theses are not written same way. Both have their own style of writing. In the literature, I give example here online. I give demonstration. Please read the slide. For example, I open an article. The research scholar name is. There are two research scholar. Akash. Acha, don't write doctor and all prefixes. Akash and Mohan. They have done research in the year 2022. So I type here 2022. Then I see their title, a study on employed youth in Mumbai. Okay, ये का topic है. Then what is the journal name? Journal of Economics. The journal name I wrote. Then what was the volume? Suppose 5. What was the issue? 4. 4. And what's the page number? 120, 122, 126. See, this way you have to drop your article article references. Otherwise, it will be wrong. It should have name, year, title name, sorry, your title of the paper, journal name, volume, issue if they have given, okay. Not given, don't write. Page number, if they have given, okay. If they have not given, you write counting 1 to 5. That is allowed you, because some articles available online, they do not have the page number. So you can take 1 to 5 or 1 to 6. If they have mentioned, no problem on it. Now, when you do a thesis, dear student, then thesis के लिए I'm drafting now. See, thesis is different. Suppose the work is done by Rajesh, right? In 2015, right? I like socio-economic study of leather artisans, right? This is my title. Done. University, department कौन सा था मेरा? Department of Economics. And I'm lucky, I feel glad that I also did from Department of University Research, the University of Pune, right? And state name is Maharashtra. State name is not compulsory, but these three things are very compulsory. Which one? Name, year, title, department, that is very important, and university name. This all you get in your title chapter only of the thesis. So you need not search, it's already available over there. Is it clear? So these are the two way you can mention your reference. And many students do good work, but they do not write in a APA style. Don't do that mistake. We are allowed to write in APA style only. So these are the two style, right? Now, one sample reference I have given here, but I'm going to teach you right now. Okay. Now look at this carefully. I'm teaching you how to draft a literature review for the thesis as well as for the article. So look at this now. I am referring some empirical research work. So I found out what? First, I find out study study about, right? I find out major objective. Acha, now let me tell you one thing I forgot to tell you. There are many research scholars who write it in abstract. So bless them. These people have reduced your work. Why? Because they already have mentioned in the abstract everything. They have mentioned abstract only everything. So that is a very easy for you to refer. Measure objective, hypothesis, if any, then methodology, okay, sampling, sampling techniques, then tools, if any, then findings, and then the conclusion. Understood now? This should be there in your ROL. Now I'm drafting your ROL. Suppose I find the work of Mr. Suppose I tell you about my any work I did. Suppose now I give this work to you and what to write. You took the article of some person who has written, suppose Mangesh. He has written a paper on 2017. He wrote or 2020. He wrote a paper on impact of demonetization on Indian economy. Right? This work he carried in a department of. I'm taking thesis. Huh? I'm taking thesis now. He carried his work in a department of commerce, economics, and University of Mumbai. Right? This is a work. Now, while reading this work, take the I will drop the reference like this, and then I will write Mangesh 2020. Now, how I write? See, you can use the verb like studied, analyzed, carried, explored, found out. Did you understand? Every word you can change. For example, some study is an analytical study. So please write there analyze. No problem. So you have to write this way. Now I'm drafting. Mangesh studied. What he studied about? He studied about the impact of demonetization on the Indian economy. Full stop. Fine. What were the objectives? He wrote a four objectives, but after reading four objectives, I come to know what he wanted to study. He, the main objective of the study was to find out how the demonetized policy affected the Indian economy. Major objective. I wrote now hypothesis. His study was based on his study was based on the null hypothesis showing that showing that there was no impact of demonetization on the Indian economy. Okay, ये उसका hypothesis था. Now, what were the variables? It took into the consideration variables such as demonetization. Okay, second one, sectoral impact, unemployment, etc. Whatever variables you can find there, they have taken in their hypothesis, you write the name over there. Not stop, continue. The Abhinav sample technique. The study was empirical in nature as it was based on the survey method, right? Abhi, while studying this, you understood that the study is qualitative or quantitative. So I come to know while reading that he has studied both the factors. So the study was mixed in nature, right? Mixed in nature because quantitative and qualitative, both the methods were used. Done. Now I continue sampling. I come to know from RM chapter how many people they have studied. So the study was carried on for 450, 450. Now he want to study the impact of demonetization on the Indian economy. So he studied 450 industries from different sector, right? I'm creating hypothetical work just to tell you and let you understand how I'm drafting, how to draft. You have the article in front of you and you have in front of you already the work which is done by them. So this I'm hypothetically drafting to tell you how confidently without copy copy paste you can draft your own article, right? So now we are finishing this. The study was done on 450 industries of different sector by using, please technique be likho, by using a random stratified or random sampling, और आप डायरेक्टली नाम लिखो कौन सा यूज किया, probability stratified, whatever they have used you write that, don't write your own. Stratified sampling, done. My work is done here. Tools, they used descriptive and inferential analysis to prove the hypothesis. Okay, done. Now I will come at the last part of it, and the last part is conclusion and descriptive. Now I will write here, they found that the more affected industries were leather, textile, and hotel, etc. Fine. So come at the conclusion, what they have come to know. They must have written the paragraph. उसमें से एक line कोई भी चुनो. So what you have to, they found that they concluded that demonetization affected some industries very badly, that resulted into the economic recession and economic slowdown. Did you understand? So this way, see now, any person who's reading this article will come to know everything what Mr. Mangesh has done. Is it clear now? And you have not done anything wrong. आपने कोई छेड़छाड़ नहीं किया उसके काम में. उसने जो बोला आपने वही अपनी भाषा में लिखा. Now if you read this article right now, see what kind of feeling you have. What feeling you have? That it is so clearly written, and Mr. Mangesh, who already has worked on this, you are honoring him for his work. So इसमें कुछ भी गलत लिखने का नहीं अपने मन से, कुछ भी ऐड नहीं करने का अपने मन से. Please don't do this. That is wrong. That is not a ethical integrity. You are a research scholar. Doing research is one of the best thing I always feel in my life. You know, it's enjoyable. Enjoy it. And you also feel happy ki, see how hard work this person has done, right? And then you also get some strong motivation.
President,
You
dari nomor
also
kriteria koordinator ayan ali amne. Baki
who's
member senior kaam koribo para.
yeah, so you
Yup.
get that you get that happiness, you know, that key. Yes, I could do it so nicely. And after reading this, you will see any referee will appreciate you. Yes, you have done a very good job. But what I told you that you did not forget, don't take only articles, empirical, take theses as well. So this is what the thesis work I had to show you, right? Now, the other part, thank you very much. Now, the second thing you try to understand is that how to save our time in writing. Okay, Amol, will ask them to ask questions in some time. I'll answer them. Everyone, okay? Sure. Every one of you have put in a question in
Okay.
an inbox. So after some time, I'll ask the Mr. Amol to read, and I will answer everything. Don't worry. Yeah. So this is the way. I think you must have understood. This is the way you have to draft the literature, ROL. And I tell you, I have done study in many libraries. I studied from Delhi. Also, I got guidances, but I found a problem in ROL in many places. Students are randomly putting some lines in writing. That is not a ethical practice. You have given left side variable, right? So these variables you can use, and this variable always keep it in mind. Now, some of you may feel, sir, यहाँ पे they have not given hypothesis. What can you do? Don't write, no problem. Don't write. If they have not given, don't write. In a thesis work, you will get it 100%. In research articles, I don't guarantee because there are many low quality journals as well. They are publishing all theory work. So this slide is going to be very helpful for you to draft the literature, right, and review. This way, you can impress your writing, impress your referees, impress your guide, and you are satisfied. Okay, nothing wrong I did, no copy paste I did. I just honored the person who already has worked, and I'm just giving him honor by showing his work in a very simpler way. That person has written 350 pages of thesis, and you are just showing it in a 15 lines. That shows the ethical integrity, ethical consciousness, and ethical perspective toward the research. So this is what I generally what happens. You know, many times when you have a big sessions, I literally open the article, then I show from that article what I have chosen, and then I show the drafting of article. But I think many of you are intelligent. You must have understood what I wanted to tell. These are the parameters you have to write, and this is the way you have to mention. So your article has to be comprehensive in a very shorter way. See, kitna 15, 20 lines bhi nahi hote hai. So this is the way you have to do. Now, one more thing I wanted to tell you that you people learn while writing literature reviews, please first ensure that you have done a folder. I want to tell you my experience, and you will feel that really it was terrible. It was terrible. I was in a Delhi university from in a Nainital for my refresher, and there was the one principal from Hindu college. He was the best person in my life. I will never forget him. He taught us the best way of doing literature review, and he taught me that every time keep your pencil and pen, notepad in your hand. Write down immediately where you have got the resource. Otherwise, tomorrow you'll forget it. Today we have already internets and we have the laptops with us. So I before that, I had done some work in a Gokul Institute. in Tata Institute. But literally, I'm telling you, I did a great mistake. You know what was my mistake? I drafted all articles by writing, but I forgot to write their references. Now tell me how difficult it was for me. When last moment I wanted to search my references, I was so problematic, in so tension I was. But I always believe that when you are ready, willingly people are there. Okay, people are there to guide you. In at Gokul Institute, one old person was there. He saw that I am so troubled. He said, "Sir, please, थांबा थांबा तुम्हाला काय पाहिजे?" म्हटलं, "Sir, I had referred these books, but I'm not getting." So he said me, he was Marathi. थांबा मी देतो. He went and he brought all the books for me. Believe me, I sat down, I wrote down my article. So don't do this mistake. First write the article, first write the reference and then drop the article. Now I'm teaching you last. In a 5 minutes, I'll try to teach you how to write the references as well. Okay? I'm sharing you my entire screen and then I'm telling you how to draft the articles. Give me 1 second only. Amul, just tell me if my this page is visible or not.
Sir, visible, sir.
Yeah. Now, all of you, please concentrate. This is the most important thing I want to tell you to the last part of it. How to draft the references without missing it, so that while submission, you will not get a problem. Now, see what to do is that I'm teaching you. Say, suppose I am getting some article. I try to see if I have my articles with me. I will explain you. Just wait. I see if I have articles with me, I will show you. Can you see this article I have opened? Can you see this article?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You seeing now? Okay, fine. Just give me again, click on it.
Sir, it's not visible now. It was
No,
visible.
no, now it is
Yes,
visible.
yes,
It is
yes.
right. Yeah. Because
Yes.
I'm screening, entire screen I'm sharing now. So when I'm going on other, it disappeared. Now see, this is the
Right.
article I have. Title is very clear: investors' perspective and behavior toward the investment scheme in empirical study. Now, this is title. Who has written this? Dr. Raghavendra and Marin. So now I'm starting writing down. See, Raghavendra and Marin, right? Which was the year? Now I'm teaching you at practical work. 2022, right? So I'm writing 2022. What was the that article name that I have copy pasted here? The investors' perceptions on the toward the investment scheme empirical study. I'm copy pasting. Don't worry, copy paste because you are honoring them by writing, so you will not commit plagiarism. अगर आप उनका काम यूज करके उनको नहीं देंगे श्रेय तो प्लेगरिज्म में आओगे. Volume 2, Issue 11. Okay, I found it. Journal name, The Review of Contemporary Scientific and Academic Studies. Journal name, a Review of Contemporary Scientific and Academic Studies. Okay, Contemporary Scientific and Academic Study. This is a journal name, right?
So this is
Now,
EPA style only.
yeah, it's CPS only. I'm writing the name. I write a journal name, title name, and I wrote the journal name now. Now I'll come to the its volume.
So the
Volume 2.
first initials of the author are not to be given on the right side, or is it okay like that only?
Which one?
So the first initials of the author, like e.g., you were writing in the first place. So they're supposed to come in the beginning or after the surname?
No. Acha, if you want to write your full name, surname, you mean to say,
Yes, sir.
okay, yeah. Now the way they have written, you refer that only, but
So
don't
like
give the salute.
it is the
Don't
thing
do.
Raghavendra KS. So KS.
You can write. You can write now because in the references you are 100% right. You can write it, but don't write doctor. That is
Okay,
not
right.
allowed. Yeah, don't write it. So better you told me like we'll do that. Marine R. George, right? Marine R. George. But you can write it, no problem. That is not a problem. Okay. Now this is what done. Now after this we will write about the volume 2 and it was 11, right? So now the page number have they given us. We will see the page number have they given. So page number is not given, right? No, page number they have not mentioned. Now here I have to not worry. If they have not given, take it as a first page. Okay. So if they have given, use that. So kitne pages are there total? Total, I think it is coming almost almost 13, 14 pages. So I write here. If I have they have not given, I write 114 pages. That's it. Now, now be very careful. Now you have to observe carefully. Now what to do? This reference is already I have typed. Okay. Now I again write Raghavendra and Marin. Okay. And I am right. I just pasted them. Now here right cursor is on the column. No, after year I put a cursor and I go to the references. Okay, I click on the references. ऊपर मैंने reference पे click कर दिया. Now after clicking the references, I will get a left side insert footnote. Can you see? Insert footnote. I just click it here. So down it came number 1. Right? It came number 1. Now what I do is that students, I copy paste all this. I cut this from here and I paste it here. My references are ready. Do you understand? And now I started drafting my observation. Studied whatever I taught you, the way you can write the observation now. Now, suppose you want to write a second person's name. Second, you are getting Monica Das, right? The year is 2021. Now, again, what to do? Write a title name, a study on economics a study on हम कोई टॉपिक लेते हैं okay a study on skill india mission okay comma journal नाम जो भी है hypothetical journal of scientific temperament okay suppose journal name also I have done. Now I'm writing this guy here. I'm writing now volume what is maybe suppose it's a 412 issue page number 224 to 226. This all available in an article. I'm taking hypothetical, you understand. Now again what to do, what we'll do now here, this we have drafted now. So Monica 2021, right cursor came, keep a cursor, insert on AB insert. See, you got a second number. Now I just cut it from here and I paste it here. Understood now? So whenever you are working now, you even can come to know how many work already you have done. So suppose this is article, so you put here A capital articles, right? Chapter name we are putting here, chapter 2, review of literature. Right. This we have done. Chapter आपका ये हो गया. अब मैं chapter को you showed this way, right? And you draw a line here. But while your work is done, later you write some sentence. What does this chapter include? Fine. Done. Now I studied articles I am keeping on writing number of articles. So दो articles मेरे हो गए. So in this way, you can keep on drafting reference first you draft, and then you start writing its literature review. That will be easy for you. So understood now? Suppose third I write here. You can do this. So automatically you get a checkout ki how many work is done. Subhash, right? I write here Subhash. So 2020. Now again I go to the here and I put a insert. Again I get an insert note. I type here Subhash 2020. Again same draft. The title page draft. Then the article you draft, volume and issue draft, and page number you draft. Understood now? So you come to know while working. Suppose now you say, sir, mera now 50 over. Your number shows here 50 is done. It automatically will give you number. Now you start writing your thesis. Continue. Thesis may you have found the thesis of Mr. Alok, 2004. Again you give your marks. It will come 4. Understood? It came 4. Alok 2004. So this way you please continue doing your ROL. Once your all articles and thesis is accumulated in a folder, now this way you can easily find that your work is carried in a very good way, and you get to automatically checkmate how many are done. It will tell you your 80, 90 work has been done. So you can stop somewhere if you want to stop down, or you can continue writing if you get a good articles. Is it clear now? So this is the way you can work out, and your references are immediately recorded by you. So what does it mean? It means that you will have to find out it nowhere. कुठेच शोधायची गरज पडत नाही. सगळं तिथे ऑलरेडी आपल्याला अवेलेबल मिळतं. सो वाइल वर्किंग, हिंदी बच्चों को पता है हिंदी में, वाइल वर्किंग आपको ये सोचना है कि जब मैं कलेक्ट कर रहा हूँ मेरा सोर्सेस आरओएल के, तब भी मैं वाइल राइटिंग आरओएल ओनली आई एम राइटिंग डाउन द रेफरेंसेस, ताकि मुझे और किसी जगह पे ढूंढना ना पड़े. So this is what I had to explain. There's a lot to teach, lot to explain, but I'm aware that you have a second lecture, second session also by Dr. Kiran. So somewhere I have to stop because I want to answer some of the questions of yours. So thank you very much. I have tried to tell in a little faster way because we had less time. But I hope if you understood something of this, you can do a great job. Thank you very much, Mr. Amol, coordinators, principal, and others. Any questions you can ask me?
So can
Thank
you explain how to give reference for a website and a report? How to sir
Yeah,
reference?
yeah. Very good question, madam. Reports, again, you have to write something. The report, who has published that report? They have the name of the researcher, right? Suppose there are two people, write their name by hand and the year, and just write the report title and the agency which has funded that report. Is it clear? So there you will not get volume and issues. You'll only write the agency name which has funded that report and the working paper who has written. Who that only you can write. And websites you have to just copy the link and you can paste, because that is ultimately the online source you have taken. So in a plagiarism you should not be caught. So go to the upper the line where the HTTPS comes, copy and straightway
So
paste
do
out.
we have to write retrieved from or what?
Yeah. It's a very good question. Nowadays, some people want ask you to write retrieve. If it is available, please copy paste at the end of this here. Here, I show you. If you have the retrieve, please copy paste it here at the last. Okay, yeah, after 14, the first I'm showing you this. After this last here, you can paste the link of retrieve. It is somewhere accepted, but in API style, it is not compulsory. But nowadays people are pasting. It is good, the referee can even click and see whether the article is here or not. It's good.
And sir, do we
Yeah,
have to
but not
mention the
compulsory.
date also, that when did we retrieve it?
No, 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 no. That is not needed, madam. In a AP style, when you are writing the writer name, their publishing, their name of journal, the volume, and the year, it means that is already recorded in the system. It is already recorded in the online data mining. So that is not needed. No, never.
Okay, sir, most of the time we are taking online journals only, online articles only. So we have to mention every time we take it from EPW, for example. If we are
Yeah.
taking it online, then we have to mention that we have retrieved from JSTOR or
Yeah,
whichever.
yeah. But I don't think in a reference that you can write down for the references. But in a literature, in a references at last, when you will combine all these references and copy paste, your chapter number 7 is ready, right? So that every time is not needed. The APA style has been told nowadays is retrieved. The people have been using. I also saw, but recently we had the 7 PhD scholars of my mentees got PhDs. None of them wrote it. No question was asked.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Any other question?
Sir,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was
This
about
Gayatri is,
literature review.
yeah, yeah.
But if we are writing someone else work in some other chapter also, so are we going to follow the same thing?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Very good question. In fact, I always tell the students, ki whatever literature review you are getting now, that is not only for your that small paragraph, but that entire source of information you can use it in the theoretical chapter. But it has to be self-composed, paraphrased, innovatively written. For example, you can use note making, flowcharts. You can explain even a very simple language the way you think it. Don't copy as it is. Always remember this in literature. Secondary data is allowed to use, right? But use it with a proper academic integrity. Just paraphrase in your own word. Some Gayatri is asking the question. I like that question. Sir, can we use AI? Very good. Now chat GPT and they are giving you AI is available, but you are just taking AI and again pasting. That's the problem. Even AI is giving you is very good. Chat GPT, use it. They give you fantastic information, but again modify in your own word. Don't use it. The other question some student may ask me, sir, can we use Zotero and references apps? I tell you one thing, they will give you the ready-made paragraph, but it is there done what you have read in that. So you can use only the reference style of Zotero, but the content which you are typing in ROL, it should be your own. वो अपना खुद का होना चाहिए मशीन से क्या लेने का है that's not good हाँ but while for drafting references you can use it but the style the way I told you it may be little time consuming but it gives you entire idea about that work so AI is good to the some extent डायरेक्टली एआई यूज करके थीसिस कंपोज करेगा तो कोई पकड़ लेगा दैट इज नॉट अलाउड यू हैव टू मॉडिफाई इट इज गुड फॉर गेटिंग इंफॉर्मेशन क्विक but you have to use it in our language you have to put in our language. Yeah, the other question is how to add more citations. Now, apart from references, now some students may have this confusion. Sir, I have put 100 references. Now, should I not mention anything? No, you're doing one mistake. Out of these 100 references, if you have taken a data, you did not mention again. It's already mentioned by you. But if you're using websites or any other data which is not covered in your references, please cite them also. What I told you, ethical integrity says that respect their work, respect their studies. That is very important. So if it is not in your references, please cite separately. Yeah, no need. Saima Khan, if you have drafted, suppose you have, now example, you have referred Rajesh work and you have drafted a small small ROL from that, right? You drafted your literature review. So from that article or from that thesis, you can take any theoretical information for your references, but in a paraphrased and self-composed lines. It's allowed, 100% allowed. Yeah, very good topic by Ram Pratap sir. If the thesis is limited on a very, very good question, very good question. I explain you there. I explain one slide to you immediately. Good question. I like this question. I forgot to explain. See, you can see this slide, right? If the source is not available. Now, this when it happens, I told you, when you choose a topic without seeing how many people have worked on it. Okay. So, what is the big thing here? What's the big thing here? You know, what you have to do is that you have to do one thing. See the title. See the title. आपका title क्या है? And from title, find out the keywords. For example, for example, my student is doing on PhD. I told you her example, right? Rational, rational bounded decision making for Veblen goods. Now, dear students, see find out. Now she is going to be in trouble. Why? Veblen goods, there are no more studies done. So what I'll find out? ROL, what I'll use, see here. I will find on Veblen goods, which is the near one it, luxurious goods. Okay. I will search this putting on keywords. I will put keywords on rational bounded studies. Any area I can use it because I don't have a scope. I can use on a behavioral economics studies. Oh yeah. From this four, I can easily get out my adequate ROL. Is it clear? So you see your title, and from title you use a number of keywords, and then you will easily be able to understand what I have to take. Got it, sir? It's a good question actually. Some people find it difficult. That's a we don't have only sources. What can we do? So nearby you can take no problem. Suppose you are doing consumer behavior of Veblen goods. Now Veblen goods you don't have much work. So consumer behavior for any goods you can take. You can tell referee consumer behavior for any good has a different perspective. I'm getting into it from that also. No problem. You can take it. That's why when the topic is specified, you have to find out the other ways. The close nearby studies you can use. Suppose now someone is doing on a investment behavior. Now, while doing this, if they find that they are not getting adequate sources, they can turn it little bit toward the. They can go and search investment. Okay, I said behavior. Now I can study the financial behavior as well. Okay. This is good. Thank you. So financial behavior you can take. Nearby you can take, no problem. So this is what I had to explain. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful experience. I think it's a national conference and many have joined. So thank you very much.
Uh, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Give
Thank
me
you.
thank you, sir. You the wonderful and the wonderful knowledge our literature review, our the participation. Thank you so much. Now the participation next
Thank you,
listener.
Rajesh, sir.
Hello.
Thank you. I wish you all have a great research work and you all get the best awards for your work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rajesh, sir. Listen to you
Thank
after
you,
a long
Ahuda
time. It
Prachi.
was a
Yeah,
blessing.
same here. It was unexpected, but thank you very much, Prachi.
Thank you, Rajesh sir.
Thank you, Krishna.
Thank you, Rajesh sir.
Thank you.
Sir,
So,
thank you very much, session, sir. Thank you.
yeah, thank you. So, Amol sir,
Yes, sir.
yeah, now shall I have to exit or you have other lecture, right?
Hi, sir. Next session will be start now.
Yeah.
And
So
thank
I
you for the
sincerely thanks one again the Moral College management, the principals, the coordinators, my dear Amol, and all the new young research scholars and all the dignified faculties uh, over here. So we all are the research scholars. Keep researching, keep producing good quality work. Thank you very much. Have a nice PPT I have shared with sir. You'll get my mail ID and contact everything over there. Please share with them, Amol. Thank you.
okay. Thank you, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you so
Have a
much, sir.
nice day, all of you. Thank you. Bye. Bye. See you.
Please wait all the participation. Next section will be start in within a 5 minutes.
Amol sir?
Yeah, ma'am.
Sir, I wanted to ask that the assignment that you gave yesterday,
Yeah.
sir, the questions were too repetitive and they were asking the same thing again and again.
Yes, ma'am. I will be change the all the question and send the next assignment today.
And sir, even the options were also similar.
Yeah,
Please
ma'am.
make them mutually exclusive so that the options are clear.
Ma'am, next session will be reduce the some questions and send only 20 question in your and not repeat again these questions, ma'am.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Please wait the 5 minutes. The next section will be start.
Sir, when the feedback link will be given, sir?
फीडबैक आफ्टर द सेशन, 2 सेशन होने के बाद सर आपको फीडबैक मिल जाएगा, फीडबैक फॉर्म मिल जाएगा, देन आफ्टर असाइनमेंट भी मिल जाएंगे. ओके
असाइनमेंट के लिए सर कितना टाइम मिलेगा सर?
सर असाइनमेंट के लिए आपको कल तक का टाइम मिलेगा, कल तक 12 बजे तक का टाइम मिल जाएगा.
ओके, थैंक यू.
सर कल का असाइनमेंट बहुत से लोगों को नहीं मिल पाया जिन्होंने व्हाट्सएप लेट ज्वाइन किया था.
ओके मैम, वो असाइनमेंट मैं अगेन आपको फिर से सेंड कर दूंगा.
ओके, थैंक यू सर.
प्लीज सेंड मुझे भी करो दो सर. हेलो अमोल सर.
Now start the next session on behalf of Professor Ramkrishna More College, Arts and Commerce and Science, Autonomous. It's my pleasure to extend warm welcome to Kiran Menghani ma'am. Our guest speaker, Kiran Menghani ma'am, wealth knowledge and expert to guide us through the journey. This commitment to excellence, research and statistics, undoubtedly inspire and empower each one of us. Dr. Kiran Menghani ma'am, processing is a impressive the qualification of including MCom, MA Economics, B.Ed, UGC NET in Commerce, SET in Commerce, PhD in Commerce, and PhD Guide in Commerce, and MA Psychology, and MBA in Marketing Management, and current as a Vice Principal in Vedanta College. As an additional, she is a worker as visiting faculty at the University of Mumbai and is a PhD co-guide for the Commerce JJTU University. And Dr. Kiran Menghani ma'am has a multiple publication record with the numbers of papers and chapters published in the ISBN and ISSN. The publication with the impact factor, she is also course writer for the University of Mumbai, a member of WICCI in the higher education sector in Maharashtra, and the resource person of the ICSSR sponsored by FDP on research methodology, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. I hope I am audible and visible both.
Yes, ma'am. You audible now, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So I am hearty thankful to Bhoite College of Arts, Commerce and Science because this is the wonderful opportunity for all of us being presenters also and being audience also to go through this journey of research, because more or less when I have seen your PhD and FDP and important chapter, you can say areas of research methodology, I was amazed to see that you are taking the audience or participants right from A to Z of research methodology. So I would try to make a little bit contribution to this particular cause. So looking forward to wonderful time with you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So, sir, shall I share my slides?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I hope that there won't be a problem while I'm sharing. Yeah. So, are my slides visible to all?
No, ma'am. Your slide is not visible.
Just
now visible your slide, sir.
Yeah. Can you see my slides now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So, today we are going through the topic of research design in social science research. So myself, Dr. Kiran Menghani, Vice Principal of Vedanta College, and sir has rightly mentioned about me that having little bit experience in PhD and guiding students, I have come across various things which I have put in my slides also. I welcome all the participants that in the end we should have a question answer round also. So let me quickly go through the content slide which will describe what will be agenda for the day. So content wise, if we see, we have part 1 which talks about social science research, need for research, objectives of research, research design, meaning, types and its application. And part 2 will more or less, I am trying to bridge a gap between theory and practical. So I have identified different research paper titles and tried to give justice to those papers by telling you what kind of research design will be utilized or which will be suitable to those research topics. Because at the end of the day, it is not about theory which you are learning, it is about all about the practical insight which you will be taking through this ICSSR FDPs. So my concentration, half of my time will be utilized in giving you insight over the theoretical constructs, and half of the time we will speak about the application of those research design on the research topic as such. You can interrupt me if you are unable to hear me, or you can see the slides, just tell me. So I'll quickly start with the definition part, because I have chosen one particular definition here which talks about that research is an honest, exhaustive, intelligent searching for facts and their meanings or implication with reference to a given problem. So I have got many 15 to 20 definition right in front of me, and after using AI, I was thrown to the world of definition given by expert. But purposefully, I have chosen this particular definition which is given by Cook, which talks about that research has to do with the intelligent searching of facts to a given problem. Now, why I have taken to a given problem, my upcoming slides will make justice to this particular definition which I have taken in this particular session. So talking about social science research, when we talk about social science research, it is what? It is the systematic inquiry into human behavior, societies or social phenomena as such we can say, which has the goal of advancing knowledge as we have seen in the definition also, or bolstering the pre-existing theory, testing the pre-existing theory, or knowing that what is the application of pre-existing theories. So that particular phenomena or that particular inquiry which is taken into human behavior, into some social phenomena, into some societies, into some groups, into some departments, it is considered as social science research. Now, participants and audience should know that why I am taking you through the journey of research and then social science research, because the agenda for the day is that I have to talk about the research designs application in social science research. So it is very much necessary and important and critical factor that before jumping to research design, let us understand what is social science research. So it will be including, because every slide will be accompanied or been supplemented with a wide range of examples, which you could see in the upcoming slides also. So it
Ma'am,
includes, yes.
Ma'am, slides are not moving. We are on the first slide only.
Can you see now?
On the slide, we can only see the first slide, the very first slide.
Let me reshare again. I'll reshare again and let me know if slides move now. Can you see now array of slides one by one? Can you see now array of slides one by one? Wait a
We are on
minute.
the slide again. Please move to the second slide.
Yeah, just a second. I'm on slide share mode. Move hua?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Can you see this in?
Yes, ma'am. We can see on the left that you are scrolling.
Yeah. So can you see now? I'm not putting it under slide presentation.
Yes, Now you're on the content slide.
Yeah. So I will do one thing. We won't go by the slideshow method. We'll rather go one by one scrolling down. If this is visible to you all, is
Yes,
this
ma'am.
visible? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was somewhere talking about social science research, and I have told you that why we are going through the procedure of getting to know research first and then social science research, because the topic is the application of research design or types of research designs in social science research. So I was on the second point wherein I was explaining you the examples which are given for the social science research. It will widely include your political science, your economics, your commerce, geography, anthropology, which deals with people, psychology, and sociology. So the goal of social science research is to do what? It is to comprehend, it is to clarify, it is to forecast social interaction, trends, and behavior. So largely, if we talk about social science research, it has to explain the phenomena, it has to describe the things going on in under social science purview. It has to clarify the facts, it has to test the theories, it has to also observe the trends and behaviors. So when we talk about the social science research, it is very much predominantly been always discussed that what would be need of such research. So we all know that research is essential and powerful tool in leading men towards progress, because it is only through research that we had come to this particular phase of development and civilization, wherein we are talking about that how men being Neanderthal men today has progressed. This is only because of research and discovery and innovation it has been made from time to time. So every walk of life require research, whether it is academic, health, management, entertainment, fine arts, science, etc. Here particularly we are talking about social science research. I'll be going quickly going through these slides which are repetitive in nature, which you have already been taught in last particular presentation. So goal of all research is obviously to find something new for progress and development, for leading a comfortable life. And systematic research would rather save your time, money, energy, and material and resources. Why? Because it is only through research that new theories are coming into existence and old theories are getting tested. This I am talking about the social science research nature. So when we talk about research methodology, let me first focus on, rather than going the theoretical part, let us understand where do this research design stands in the research process. So very first we have to understand what is the research design and what is its place, or the, you can say, the position in the research process. We all know that this is the research process which we always follow, which comes with the identification of the problem. When I ask you, everyone who is a layman or new man in the research, they will say that identification of the title or topic is the very first stage in research. But I disagree, because my upcoming slides will prove that how identification of problem is very, very important when it comes to social science research. No matter it, I'm talking about social science research, but every research, be it pure science, life sciences, everywhere you start with the problem, because it is the problem which we can say it is leading us to the solution through the scientific inquiry. So very first will be the problem. Now why problem, what is problem, how it differs from research question, that also we are going to see. So identifying any kind of problem, this problem has to be dealt with by understanding what past has to say about it. तो जो भी आपके हाथ में प्रॉब्लम होगा, आपके पास रिसर्च, जिसको आप लोग टॉपिक बोलते हो या टाइटल बोलते हो, मैं यहाँ पे नोमेनक्लेचर से नहीं जा रही हूँ, मेरे लिए वो सबसे पहले प्रॉब्लम, स्टेटमेंट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम देगा तो जाके मैं कहूंगी कि वो रिसर्च के लायक है कि नहीं. So identification of the problem, taking it to the past researches, taking it to the operationalization, taking it to what the other studies has to tell about it, what kind of outcome variables were being discovered, all those areas will be clear with the review of literature. And I hope in the last lecture you got a wonderful and substantial inputs what is review of literature and how it can help a researcher. So after understanding the problem, after understanding what past literature has to say about it, you have to come to your hypothesis, your research question and objective. Now why again and again I am emphasizing on your question, your objective, your hypothesis? Because somewhere down the line, if you see the research, maybe research titles are repetitive, maybe research problems are repetitive, but the understanding of those problem in terms of formulating questions, objectives and hypothesis, that differs. Now how this that differ, that also we are going to see in the upcoming slide. So after, when you have your questions with you, you have your objectives with you, you have your hypothesis with you, you will go with the study design. This is the topic which been given to me, that is your design, research design. After you have your design, you will go with the sampling part, you will go and collect the data, you will have the data in hand, you will process and analyze the data, and finally you have the writing up of the article or the report, as such as the case may be. First thing first, you have to just determine what could be your parameters relating to research. Now when I say parameters relating to research, it comes with the topic, problem, it comes with the past research inferences, it comes with your questions, objectives, hypothesis, then you come to the design part. After choosing the design, the whole story gets into the scientific statistical analysis and your reports are written. So don't mind me getting vice versa, because this is the process which we already know, everybody has been following. But this is something which I have taken from reference book, which talks about what is the position and place of research design in this whole research process. So if you can, you see my slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, in detailed manner if it is seen. So it is divided into three different parts. Now when we see three different parts, the very first part is exploration part, second part is research design part, third part is the research execution part. Now let us talk about exploration part. What is exploration? When you try to explore, when you try to discover new variable, when you try to go from known to unknown field, we can say that is exploration. So exploration begins the moment you have the research topic, problem in hand. You go and search for the question, why this particular research is important, what this research will try to solve, what kind of theory is going to be put into test, or what kind of theory will be produced. Now why I am saying theory to be put to test or why theory to be produced, this will also be improved with my upcoming slides. So very first part in the exploration stage is you having your very fancy title or problem with you. You go into the unknown field and you try to analyze what are the questions attached to it. Examples I'll give you later on. Then you go with the review of literature, and then you come to one or two or three kinds of theories which you have in hand. Just say, for example, in psychology, we have many things which are related to one another. So when we talk about psychology, there is one theory which says that your achievement is somewhere related to the self-efficacy. So at that particular time, one theory is proving this particular thing. If this theory is proving this thing, is review of literature full of those examples where past researchers have proved that there exists a correlation? And if it is there, then what is your question in that? Maybe your question will be, I need to test this correlation in my SYBCom students. I need to test this correlation in the students who have passed out. I need to test which kind of correlation exists between, is it positive, negative. So that way, the very first part will be your exploration. Now, after exploration, you will be going further and you will be designing your research. Now, when I say you will be designing your research, यहाँ पे तुम लोगों को पूरा सामग्री दिया जाता है और आप किचन में जाते हो. एक्सप्लोरेशन में आप सिर्फ सामग्री इकट्ठा करते हो, डिजाइन में आप किचन में जाके उसमें से कुछ पकाते हो. तो इसके लिए डिजाइन में क्या क्या चीज आएगा? यू विल हैव द ऑपरेशनलाइजेशन, यू विल हैव द रिसर्च मेथड, यू विल हैव द सैम्पलिंग स्ट्रेटेजी. Now why I am saying this operationalization? Operationalization के दो तीन मतलब हैं. when you try to draft the research thesis or the research paper, you are giving the operational definition. हम लोग तो सिर्फ कॉपी पेस्ट करके उठा के वी जस्ट पुट इट दैट इसका मतलब ये है, इसका मतलब ये है. बट इन योर रिसर्च वो कंस्ट्रक्ट है कि वो वेरिएबल है, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. वन एग्जांपल फ्रॉम माय साइड हियर. Say for example, you want to test the intelligence of students. Okay, and for testing the intelligence of the students and creativity of the students, what is the tool which you are using? You are using IQ test, right? So operationalization में, if I ask in this open audience forum कि आप लोगों के लिए इंटेलिजेंस का मतलब क्या होता है, तो you people like other experts have said that intelligence has only one facet or one part of intelligence has to do with the IQ. There are different types of intelligence. You have spatial intelligence, you have creativity in that, you have people skills in that, you have other kind of intelligence, जैसे emotional intelligence in that. So whensoever you come up with any kind of research, it is very much essential that you describe that for you that operational term, that term is having what operation. Whether you are talking about intelligence only which is taken with the help of IQ test. So that is very, very, very much essential when we talk about operationalization. So that is the part of your research design. Then moving further, you have research methods. So as I hope that this particular platform is having more number of students coming from, more number of participants and teachers coming from commerce, management, economics background. So what we know that there is a survey method, we know there is an interview method, we know there is a experimentation method. So all those methods will comprise observation as one of the method. So all those method again will be part of your research design. So once you have defined that for you this particular term is having this particular definition, you go ahead and you start with the method. Talking about the same example, if I have to determine the intelligence in my students, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take their IQ test. So that IQ test, how I'm going to take it? I'm going to take it with the help of a tool. I'm going to take it with the help of a survey. So that method will become my research method here. And then you will be determining, talking about the strategy of relating to sampling also. Now, when I say sampling strategy, again, I think so in your FDP also, there will be one particular topic which will be assigned specifically to sampling strategy. So you will be talking about sample size, your sampling plan, your sampling techniques, your sampling units, your sampling frames, each and everything which you have to do with the sampling. जो कितना respondents आएगा, कौन सा respondents आएगा, कैसा respondents आएगा. All those things will be your sampling strategy. So these three things put together will become a research design. And this will be taken ahead. You will draft a proposal, you will draft a write-up. Unnecessary उसको proposal बोलना यहाँ पे ये नहीं है, because ये किसी book से लिया गया, तो यहाँ पे आप एक research draft बना दोगे, which will comprise of your research questions, your literature review. Then it will talk about your operational definition, your methods used in it, and sampling strategy. So जब भी whensoever you write research methodology as one particular chapter or one particular part in your research paper, it is talking about research design 70-80%, you can say, composition of research design parts. Then you move further, you draft your paper and draft your PhD thing. Then you go with the pilot testing. What is pilot testing? कि मैंने जो भी सोचा है वो छोटे से ग्रुप पे क्या एप्लीकेबल है, क्या सर्वे हो सकता है, क्या सैंपल उतना मुझे रिस्पॉन्ड करेगा क्या, क्योंकि whatever operationalization has happened, they will also go into your questionnaire as the variable testing, so that pilot testing will be done. Then you will go further ahead, you will collect the data, you will analyze code, whatever you want to do with the data when it comes to statistical analysis, then you will draft the report. So can you see in this particular figure, there is one particular part which is only and only talking about research design. So in this process, if you see, this is the circular process which starts with the problem and it ends with the report. This rather puts the research design at the exact place where it is required, because this is the ideal way of doing research. First come with the exploration, Then, because why I am taking research question, I have proven this in my upcoming slides. So then you go to review, then you have certain theories, then you come to your research design wherein you will be cooking something, and then finally you will be pursuing something that comes in your research execution as such. So when you talk about this particular process, you can see where this design actually stands. This process will be very well been bifurcated into different, you can say, levels when it comes to this particular diagram. Now let us see what is research design as such. So what is research design? If you go through both the presentation diagrams, graphical diagrams, what you will observe that it is the blueprint, it is the comprehensive plan for what? For data collection in the empirical research project. Empirical matlab wherever you find, you will be collecting the real time data. It will come from the facts which are going in the market. So it becomes a blueprint for empirical research, which aims at answering research questions also, testing your hypothesis also, but at least it will specify three particular things. One will be data collection process, how would be method, where the sample is coming from. Other one is your instrument development process. As I said in earlier example, that you will be having what? You will be testing something, you will be having tools or tool in hand. So many of us in social science research, we have questionnaire as a tool and method is survey. So at that particular time, these instrument development process also form a very good part of your research design. And then finally you talk about the sampling process also. So when you talk about the sampling process, I told you that it is not at all possible or feasible for all the researches to be done on universe or population as such. We have to come to the logical sized population, which will become our respondents, and that will become our sampling process. Now, when I said that I'll be also talking about what is scientific method and what is the need of questions in your exploration. So very first is scientific method always start with the question identified. Once you identify your questions relating to your research, you can go ahead with the hypothesis formulation. So what is this hypothesis formulation? This is the assumption which you are taking. जैसे मैंने earlier example में लिया that I have to check the correlation between academic achievement and self-efficacy of the students. What I'm going to start with, I'm going to start with that I need to know what is the status of students in those both the variables. Where do they stand in academic achievement? Where do they stand in terms of self-efficacy feeling? And then I'll be having my hypothesis. So my hypothesis definitely वो theory से vary नहीं करेगा. My hypothesis will be generally somewhere कि there is a relationship or there is no relationship. When I say no relationship, nullify कर रही हूँ मैं उसको, मैं अपना null hypothesis बता रही हूँ. When I say there is a relationship, I straight away say that alternate hypothesis ये होगा कि वो theory prove होगा मेरे वाले sample पे भी. After having your hypothesis formulation, you go with the research plan and your research design. You collect data, you analyze, and you draw the conclusion. Now, why I am taking all these things? Because somewhere, whatever diagram in the research design you have seen, these are the things which are we make our students learn, and we also learn from the beginning that there was a question has to be scientifically solved, and the results are being interpreted and analyzed. So in that case, we can say that these starting with the question, going to the literature, then finally coming to the यहाँ पे अगर आप लोग देखोगे 2 बार रिव्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर क्यों दिया गया है, ये भी मैं बताती हूँ 2 बार क्यों दिया गया है. उसके बाद you will determine something about your research design, which largely comes from your approach, that is your method, your population, your sample, your collection plans, your instrument which you have selected. So all those things. So when I was talking about कि यहाँ पे 2 बार review of literature क्यों आया है, I'll tell you one simple fact. Before research also there is review of literature, and when you choose a topic or question, then also there is a review of literature. So before question, जो review of literature है, that takes you to the exploration of your research areas. You try to explore कि मैंने जो वेरिएबल सोचा है मन में उससे रिलेटेड क्या क्या पास रिसर्चेस कहते हैं, तो मैं एक अच्छे से wherein I'll be capable of having the wonderful and fancy title or topic for me. And after having title and topic in hand, after your researchable problem is with you, where you distill your question also, then again you continue your review of literature. Why here review of literature stands to be most important? Because here now you have your problem, you have your title with you. Based on that, you will go and search what are the studies in relation to my title, speaking of different kinds of, you can say, these references or different kinds of outcome what they have got. Just now when you were hearing to Rajesh sir, he also told that कि अगर कोई नवीन area है, novel area, and you are unable to have the review from the present or past studies, existing studies, try to see a match, try to see a correlation, try to see the one next variable which is exactly matching with your variable. Here comes this continued review of literature. And then you finally go to the research design as the cases are. I'll also speak in the end a very healthy exercise of एक्चुअली आइडेंटिफाइंग कि ये रिसर्च टॉपिक है, इस पे कौन सा डिजाइन लगेगा. तो अभी तक तो मैं डिजाइन पे पहुंची भी नहीं हूँ, मैं सिर्फ डिस्कस कर रही हूँ सबसे पहले कि क्वेश्चन और प्रॉब्लम क्यों इम्पोर्टेंट है. सो लेट अस गो अहेड एंड सी. नाउ माय स्लाइड्स आर मूविंग. Are my slides moving?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So now comes the very, very fundamental aspect of your exploration, which is foundation of research process is beginning with the question. Why question is important? Why aren't we satisfied only with hypothesis and title? Because it is in your viva of PhD, it is in your Scopus journal mein when you have your publication, they will very first see that what were the research questions in your mind. So what would be research questions in the mind? Whatever research is trying to arrive at, whatever you feel findings are going to throw light on, whatever you think that this particular research will try to give implication. Just say for example, many of you, if you have seen that there are certain topics which are loitering around on the internet. I have seen one common topic every now and then: perception, awareness, knowledge. जहाँ पे कुछ समझ में नहीं आता है, वेरिएबल के साथ डाल दो दी स्टडी ऑफ परसेप्शन रिलेटिंग, स्टडी ऑफ एक्सपेक्टेशन, स्टडी ऑफ नॉलेज रिलेटिंग, स्टडी ऑफ अवेयरनेस रिलेटिंग. So take any variable and that. So what is the research question? Ideally, the research question is to know that what is the knowledge in the market. When I talk about financial literacy, come on. When I take certain studies which are relating to financial literacy, very comprehensive term, financial literacy. सिर्फ 10 क्वेश्चन पूछने पे नहीं चलेगा, उसमें देर आर नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस, देर आर नंबर ऑफ वेरिएबल्स. जैसे से फॉर एग्जांपल, is financial literacy comprising of financial knowledge, financial behavior, or financial, you can say, awareness? So all those things. Is my sample knowing about the financial literacy and its impact on their day-to-day, you can say, financial transactions? So these could be questions for you. Why? Because the question, unless and until you aren't clear with the question, what the research is trying to give you, the fruit which it is trying to blossom into, you can't say that my publication will publish in Scopus or UGC. They will first ask you what you are trying to question. What is it trying to give the implication? What is the solution it is arriving at? So very first foundation for any research process will be your research question. Once you are there with the research question, how can this research question come in mind? Now, researcher aptitude, researcher mind is very, very important. So it comes from your curiosity level, it comes from the information gaps, it comes from the controversial issues, it comes from the replication, जो भी society में चल रहा है उसका replica लेना, it comes from the literature review, it comes from other people, it comes from etc. everywhere. So take any example, say for example, there is one particular topic in which we are trying to see what is the role of microfinance in rural areas or some adopted village or some adopted area. Very first research question should come in your mind that is the rural infrastructure supporting it? Is the microfinance solving the problems of people around? And if they are solving, which are the components which are playing a very good role, which are the factors which have been affected by it. So that way, this is the curiosity of a researcher mind. Because we say na, that हम बोलते हैं necessity is the mother of all invention. Unless and until it comes from your mind, you feel it necessary that I want to gain answer of so many questions, your exploration will start then. If your exploration starts, you are on the right track. You will be curious enough to know certain question. There will be information gaps. Come on, when we saw demonetization or double taxation, that is unified taxation, that is GST, were there. Didn't we feel that we have a curiosity also, and we had information gaps also, which were given in different articles, that nahi ye barabar nahi diya hua hai. Somewhere there has to be logical conclusion or logical cause of why demonetization was introduced, why this GST is going to help in the future longer run. So information gaps, controversial issues. They normally, many controversial issues nowadays, they are finding researchers are finding very good research question based on that. Replication, कोई और theory बना है, उसका replica लेके अपने study में include करते हो. So don't you feel necessity of including association and relationship while testing two variables? So that is your research question. Your literature review तो समंदर है, उसमें जितना देखोगे तो लोगों के क्वेश्चंस देख के आपको क्वेश्चंस आएंगे. So all these are the sources from where you can find a research questions. And what is research problem then? अगर research question ये है, what your research is trying to answer, what solution it is trying to give. Research problem क्या है कि why you have chosen this particular research? Why factor is very important. So why जब भी रिसर्च प्रॉब्लम के आप लोग आंसर्स दोगे, समवेयर आपके ऑब्जेक्टिव्स में दोगे. रिसर्च क्वेश्चन के अगर आंसर देना चाहते हो तो हाइपोथेसिस में दोगे. तो ऐसा करके आपकी सब इंटरकनेक्टेडनेस चीजें जाती है. बिकॉज रिसर्च प्रॉब्लम इमर्ज फ्रॉम योर इंटरेस्ट एरिया, योर सिग्निफिकेंस कमिंग फ्रॉम थियरी पार्ट, प्रैक्टिकल पार्ट, the timeliness of that theory, external review required for many theories, and whether it is manageable. Because having said that research problem and questions are very important, it has to be very manageable also. Because when we try to look at the research problem, you can't solve the research problem like you can say in a fraction of second, or while doing any kind of research paper. When you talk about whole India, you have to see your time, resources, money, and it should be definitely free from personal bias. Although there are many problems which emerge from personal biasness, that I'll clear you in the upcoming slide, but then also research problem should emerge from all those things. Then we try to distill the problem. Now what is this distillation of the problem? When you try to refine your questions, ideas into the problem and make it specific to the audience, when they read it, they will come to know. That is the distillation of problem. When you try to give it to the audience or to the readers, you make a statement of problem. Now, this statement of problem has to be very clear, concise, and definitive. Question can be vague, but the statement of problem has to be clear, concise, and definitive. Because this is somewhere your problem will be related to objective will be related to hypothesis, that will come in the design process itself. So your statement for problem has to be very specific, maybe in the interrogative form, declarative form, and it has to be done with the review of literature and other distillation process. Distillation process में यहाँ पे आपका grammar बोल लो, operational definition बोल लो, वो सब चीजें आ जाता है. So see, problem of this study was to, this study was concerned with, this study is designed to, purpose of this investigation is to. So everywhere you can see to with all those things, because you are trying to give some kind of outcome to your research through the research problem. So when we talk about sample research problem, obviously मैंने भी internet से ही लिया है. So problem was to investigate effects of exercise on health. Problem was to, the study was designed to see the relationship between two things. Present studies design. Can you see design? Why I am using this design also, that I'll prove. So present study was designed to identify characteristics. Problem of study to determine the relationship. So somewhere relationship, somewhere investigating causes. This investigating causes, relationship, determining the facts, all those are designs. How they are designs, I'll come later on. But first, I need to clarify that what are the examples of social science research. So we have sociology. Hello, yeah.
जी मैम, ये रिसर्च क्वेश्चन और रिसर्च प्रॉब्लम का डिफरेंस एक बार बता दो, कैसे पता चलता है कि
Yeah, see, say for example, uh, when you are trying to explore your studies, exploratory में जब भी आप लोग होते हैं, when you try to see the review of literature which is concerned with many theories and many variables altogether, which variables of course you are also interested to know. So when you try to see what would be the questions which this particular research will answer, that will become your research question. जैसे say for example, if I am trying to see the role of SHG in the rural areas, at that particular time, my questions in my mind has to be whether this SHG is playing positive role or negative role. Is this SHG trend showing a very wonderful implication on the rural areas? Is this increasing employability? Is this increasing women entrepreneurship? Right? So these are your research questions. Now, when I said that you have to also state the problem in hand, so what problem in hand you will have? The problem in hand will always speak from the audience point of view, reader's point of view. So what it will state that this particular, why this particular research is taken, because we have seen that SHG has been catalyst factor in our nation's growth. So it is very much necessary or very much critical to understand what kind of the implication it is giving or the benefits it is providing to rural areas, right? So when we talk about questions, it will largely come why the research is important and what kind of outcomes it will give. When we talk about problem statement straight away have one particular section in your research papers and thesis wherein you try to say और गिव जस्टिस दैट स्टेटमेंट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम, मतलब आपके मन में ये रिसर्च क्वेश्चन आया, उसमें से आपने ये प्रॉब्लम आइडेंटिफाई किया, बाद में ये रिसर्च अंडरटेक किया. डिड यू गेट मी? So I'll also explain that how this research question will become hypothesis, how this research problem will become your one of the objectives also. ठीक है, आगे है उसका आंसर. So we have different examples of social science research, as in we have sociology, we have psychology, we have anthropology, we have economics, we have political science. इसमें सब research कौन से facets से आता है वो सभी example दिया हुआ है. There is geography also somewhere, some topics of geography also which is having environmental consequences, that is also taken under social science. Communication studies के कुछ parts आते हैं, education आता है, criminology आता है. So you can see social science research itself is having so many, you can say, facets and areas in which these researches are important. Although these questions and problems will have different types of terminologies when it comes to all these studies. So coming to main particular, you can say, slide where I am talking about research design as such. So very first research design, which I am going to one by one, I am going to tell you research design. In the end, I am going to produce certain objectives, hypothesis and research title, and we'll try to see which type of research design will be suitable to what. So when we talk about exploratory design, what is exploratory design? I told you from the diagram itself, where you have very limited knowledge and understanding about that particular thing. And you try to generate the questions, you try to generate the hypothesis, you try to generate the variables for further investigation. जैसे say for example, मैंने एक I have also been through this journey. Somewhere I was resource person, somewhere I listened to resource person. So I don't remember her name, but she was very good with the design, research design part. So she said कि there was one study which was conducted in Germany, और वो स्टडी में क्या क्वेश्चन था पर्सन का कि कुछ लोग जब भी बहुत से लोगों ने, इफ यू हैव एनी एक्सपीरियंस, देयर आर सम पीपल हु आर डिक्लेयर्ड डेड but they come to life after some fraction of seconds or after some moments. So there was one question in one person's mind that what happens in that case, where that person goes. ठीक है. एंड कैन यू टेल मी ये पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन का आंसर किसी के पास है कि अगर किसी की कोई डिक्लेयर हो जाता है जिसकी डेथ हो गई है, और जब भी वो डिक्लेयर होता है वो उसकी डेथ हो गई है और थोड़ी देर के बाद वो वापस जिंदा हो जाता है, तो इसका किसी के पास आंसर है वो तब तक कहाँ था? नो वन, बिकॉज देयर इज वेरी 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 no knowledge, I can say very limited existing knowledge. I am not talking about the religious or spiritual part of it. I am talking about those people who have experienced almost near to death experience and they are declared dead and they come to life. So do you feel that descriptive research यहाँ पे काम आएगा? डिस्क्रिप्टिव रिसर्च मतलब यहाँ पे जितना भी ऑडियंस है 280 300 ऑडियंस, सबको मैंने क्वेश्चन भरवाया कि आपको ऐसा एक्सपीरियंस हुआ है, ऑफ कोर्स यू विल से नो, बट जब भी वो स्टडी हुआ, व्हेन दिस स्टडी वाज टेकन इन जर्मनी, देयर all around the world there were 10-12 people who said that we experienced this particular fact. Someone said कि हमें बहुत अंधेरा दिखा, someone said हमें लाइट दिखा, someone said टनल देखा, someone said मैंने अपना गुजरा हुआ पेरेंट्स देखा. So this is something exploratory. Why? Because a new thing which is not existing in world, that is coming, that is getting uncovered, that is getting explored. So whensoever your purpose of research, your questions are so unique in nature, which has to be identified with very new variables, there comes this exploratory design. So before your PhDs, before your research projects, when you try to go in the market without having any questionnaire, without having any tool, just to discover, just to survey, just to see what kind of things are going on, you are going with the exploratory design. Because in that particular design, you have research questions in mind. You don't have research problem, you have research questions in mind. So those studies जो मैंने अभी बताया कि ऐसा स्टडी हुआ था, तो वो जो स्टडी हुआ था उसमें वी हैव ट्राई टू एक्सप्लोर न्यू थिंग्स. सो क्वालिटेटिव मतलब उसका कोई मेजरमेंट नहीं है, इज यूनिक, वेरिएबल्स आर वेरी न्यू. सम लिमिटेड नॉलेज को आपको एकदम ऑप्टिमम नॉलेज पे लेके जा रहा है क्योंकि एक नया चीज इजाद हो रहा है. Then you have methods also, very different methods in exploratory. Oftenly I call it qualitative methods, like उसमें इंटरव्यू आपके काम आता है, उसमें आप सर्वे नहीं कर सकते. You have focus group, जैसे मैंने कहा कि वो नियर टू डेथ एक्सपीरियंस होता है तो उसमें फोकस ग्रुप्स बनाए गए. Observation, you can do observation on animals, you can do observation on kids, children's, you can do observation on the phenomena which is going around, because through observation there are some unsaid things which also get discovered. So methods will be interviews, focus group, and their observation, your literature reviews, which will give you more insights and perspective, and then from research question will proceed further to the problem area. Example will be conducting interviews with individual from different cultural backgrounds to explore their attitudes toward newly introduced technology. So any kind of newly AI hai, chat GPT hai, and if you try to interview various individuals coming from many different cultural backgrounds, everybody will say different things. So if you ask teachers, they will say something else. If you ask kids, they will say something else. So that is somewhere you can say, if you try to ask different cultural background people, they will have different attitudes toward newly introduced technology also. So this is somewhere your exploratory design comes into function, because I want to know which has very limited knowledge in the world. I want to know that particular fact. So exploratory design. Then comes your descriptive design. Now, when we talk about descriptive, again, I'll tell you, I'll make one point clear, that there is a difference in descriptive and explanatory also. Explanatory will go afterwards. So descriptive, what is descriptive? When it seeks to describe features, behavior, attributes of population in a quantitative method. So what you are trying to do, you are trying to have your method in this particular descriptive method. That method will be quantitative method, where first method, first exploration was qualitative, because you are not knowing what kind of variable will be discovered. But in quantitative method, you know population comes from this particular segment and they are going to fill it pure form. So you know surveys are going to be helpful, questionnaire method is going to be helpful. In some cases, observational studies are also helpful, because it is collecting somewhere your MCQ type of data, open-ended ज़्यादा नहीं होगा, numerical data which you have to analyze again statistically. So you have survey for college students to know their study habits, to know their environment, to know their use of study aids. So all those things will be your, you can say, descriptive research. So both exploratory and descriptive design, they both have their own pros and cons and importance in research design. Now, why I am again and again talking about research design is that because this particular research design, according to your research, you will pick the design and you are going to have your own hypothesis, you are going to have your definitely your outcomes from the research questions or from the research, you can say, problems in hand. Sorry, yeah. Yes. So this way, descriptive design more or less quantitative in nature. Acha, one more thing. When you try to see the exploratory research, more or less exploratory research or design, they are interpretative designs. And when we talk about descriptive design, they are positivist design. Now, what is positivist and interpretative? That we will also discuss. But in a very research jargon, these are known as interpretative and positivist. So somewhere this, why it is considered as interpretative, because it is having the qualitative method. And why this is considered as positivist, because positivists think that जितना ज़्यादा majority, और वो किससे prove होता है, आपके quantitative method से होता है. The next design is your experimental design. Now when we talk about experimental design, see, very simple, जो हम लोग classrooms में करते हैं, there are certain teachers, professors, they will understand. We normally in our college, when students fail in majority in one subject, what we try to do, we try to divide them into two groups. और उसमें एक को रेमेडियल कोचिंग देते हैं, और जो होशियार ग्रुप होता है, जिसको हम लोग को उम्मीद होता है कि ये और अच्छा मार्क्स लाएगा, उसको इंटेंसिव कोचिंग देते हैं, राइट. लेकिन इसी में ही, इसी को भी मैं एक्सपेरिमेंटल बोल सकती हूँ. व्हाई आई एम सेइंग एक्सपेरिमेंटल? Because I have one independent variable or more independent variables. I am observing the effects on dependent variables. कैसे? I have one particular group जिसको मैंने randomly एक group को experimental group कहा है, because that group is being given a new treatment और new method से study करा रहे हैं, और दूसरे को हम लोग कंट्रोल ग्रुप कहते हैं और हम उसे ट्रेडिशनल मेथड से ही स्टडी करा रहे हैं. बाद में एक टेस्ट लेते हैं क्लास में, एंड देन वी ट्राई टू सी कि अगर स्कोर्स एक्सपेरिमेंटल ग्रुप का अच्छा है, तो देयर आई कैन से दिस पर्टिकुलर एक्सपेरिमेंट जो मेरा किया गया है न्यू टेक्निक या मेथड्स के साथ, दैट इज वेरी वायबल एंड इट इज हैविंग इट्स बेनिफिट्स. So here comes your randomly assigning students to two groups. One will be your receiving new treatment, other one will be receiving this old or status quo or the same treatment treatment. और फिर बाद में you are trying to see that whether your experiment was successful or not. On what? On the group which has received the new method. This particular theory, अगर आपको मालूम होगा, मोटिवेशन में बहुत साल पहले हैवथॉन स्टडीज हुए थे. हैवथॉन स्टडीज में यही किया गया था कि एक पर्टिकुलर ग्रुप को लाइटनिंग को और वेंटिलेशन को एक्सपोज किया गया था, और एक को सेम ऑर्डिनरी फैक्ट्री सेटिंग में रखा था. देखा गया था लाइटनिंग को जो एक्सपोज किया गया ग्रुप और वेंटिलेशन को, उसकी प्रोडक्टिविटी रेज हुई. So here we can say what kind of design you will use. You are going to use the experimental design. Then your quasi-experimental. See, very thin line difference also I can say, but a substantial difference also I can say in experimental and quasi-experimental. How? Experimental, you control both the groups. One is receiving good treatment, other is receiving same treatment. Quasi experimental में you are comparing two different types. How you are comparing two different types? जैसे यहाँ पे example दिया हुआ है. If you try to compare academic students who have attended tutoring program with those who have not attended tutoring program. So purposeful आपने कुछ नहीं किया. आपने यहाँ पे रैंडम असाइनमेंट नहीं किया. आपने सिर्फ ये देखा कि एक ने करियर प्रोग्राम किया था, एक ने नहीं किया था, दोनों के रिजल्ट्स को कंपेयर करो. So that becomes your quasi experimental. Why experimental word is again used here? Because again same thing, because we are comparing two different groups, two groups which are given different treatment, not by us but by the natural setting. So naturally occurring differences. But in this first particular experimental design, you control and you try to see. Jaise I can say very well say that COVID vaccine before getting discovered, there were many people on whom this particular clinical research was done. So one which was receiving the vaccination, one which was not receiving, they were also compared. So we can say experimental design, yes, they do have very important role in social science research also. How, we will see. Then we have two more designs. ऐसे तो we have many designs, but social science research में this is one design which I am very fond of and every researcher is fond of, that is correlation. Why correlational? Because our hypothesis also states this thing, that relationship है कि नहीं है, association है कि नहीं है. So correlation में क्या होता है? You have such type of design wherein you try to examine the relationship between two or more variables without doing anything with them as it is, and you measure the extent of relationship between two variables. तो relationship जब भी हम लोग association correlation find out करते हैं दो variable में, we can say that is the correlational design. Example क्या रहेगा? When you try to establish, determine, investigate the relationship between socio-economic status and academic achievement. Let me give you one particular insight here. इसी यहाँ पे जो एग्जाम्पल दिया हुआ है, रिसर्च इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन सोशो इकोनॉमिक स्टेटस एंड एकेडमिक अचीवमेंट, इसको अगर मैं रिसर्च क्वेश्चन फॉर्म में लिखती हूँ तो कैसे लिखूंगी? हाउ वुड आई राइट? आई वुड राइट, is there any relationship between socio-economic status and academic achievement? That will be my question. But how would I put it in the research statement of problem form? जैसे किसी participant ने पूछा, so I'll try to see that what are the factors affecting socio-economic status and what factors comes with academic achievement. How they go, how do they form a relationship? That way, when I am trying to measure things, that comes your social problems also. Why social problems? Because it is proving, or through this research, the outcome could be that yes, your family pattern, your parental aspect, your income, it is having some kind of bearing on some students' achievement. So when it is having bearing on impact on some students' achievement, whether those factors are being known to teachers, being known to parents, being known to a child, so that will become your problem statement of problem. So जब भी हम लोग डिस्टिल करते हैं क्वेश्चन को आगे आगे आगे, it becomes a problem. Longitudinal design. What is longitudinal? Over a period of time, when you try to see the changes, trends, development into certain things, that become longitudinal design. This is, say for example, if you are conducting the growth and development studies pre and post LPG, LPG पे प्री LPG पे भी आपने एक रिसर्च किया था, फिर पोस्ट LPG पे भी आपने रिसर्च किया था, या कोई भी एक फिनोमेना ले लो आपने, अगर मेंटल हेल्थ स्टेटस पहले भी कुछ लोगों के देखे हैं, आज भी देख रहे हो, क्योंकि उनका एज ग्रो हो रहा है तो एज का उस पे असर होता है कि नहीं, तो ऐसी चीजें, these things become the longitudinal design. Why longitudinal? Because it is spread across the number of years. Come on, try to see certain cases which are lying with the psychologists, with the doctors from so many years. Aren't they applying longitudinal designs? Yes, because it is from the years to years you are trying to track. When we say tracking, that become the longitudinal design. Of course, things will be clear with one slide when I have taken all the designs together in one table and I'm showing you that how variables differ. Then you have cross-sectional design. What is cross-sectional design? When same point variable you are trying to assess from different age group, income group, stratified groups like male, female, Americans, Indians. So that is considered as cross-sectional. Same study, same survey. अगर different age groups में हम लेके जाते हैं, that becomes your cross-sectional study. जैसे say for example, there was one research which was based on women entrepreneurs. So, yeah, yes, yes, madam. Can you all hear me, by the way? I need to ask in between.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, if you have any question, we'll take in the end also. And before concluding also, we will have a very healthy interaction. And I'll give you certain, you can ask me certain research topics also and what design will be applicable. That also I'm going to prove with my slides. So there was one topic which was based on women entrepreneur. And I clearly remember that lady who was doing research on women entrepreneur. Her guide told her that why you are taking the data only from women entrepreneur. You involve other women also who are not entrepreneur and try to see their preferences, their perception towards entrepreneurship. And one guide also, I remember one case example in which she said that try to involve other rural area where this particular project or scheme has been applied. They say rural areas, of course, were in the same district, but try to add more rural areas too. So there I understood that what were their intentions in that, because the same phenomena, same attitude, same perception, well, not same, that particular attitude, perception relating to one particular variable, is it predominantly having the same kind of you can say the position in the people's mind. So that comes with the cross sectional design. Second example I would like to give you, we have different advertisements every now and then. We see many when we see the promotional strategies of many companies, the advertisements, some advertisements are largely being followed and favorite of some kids. At the same time, it is not being liked by adults. Now, why I can give you such example, because somewhere I was teaching in mass media also. So in mass media, for that matter, even in BMS also, there are certain subjects in which we have advertising testing, pre and post testing. So mass media student, they had a short film based on the college, and they have taken the attitude relating to that particular college promotion from various section of audience. So those section of audience came from the already students who are studying there, the outside students also, non-teaching also, teaching also. So I can say that is the cross-sectional design. Then you have case study design. So don't mind if I'm going little bit faster, because I have to actually show you one healthy practice which I have adopted, in which I'll make you realize that how from the topic you can have your own research design. So case study design में क्या होगा, आप लोग किसी भी एक इंडिविजुअल ग्रुप ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इवेंट को एकदम एक ही एक्सप्लोर करते जाओगे, और उसमें से आपको जितना क्वालिटेटिव डेटा मिल सकता है थ्रू इंटरव्यूज, ऑब्जर्वेशन, डॉक्यूमेंट एनालिसिस, उसका पिछला, उसमें से इंसाइट लेके आओगे. So why I am saying case study design is very important in some psychology or sociology for that matter, because case study is the method in which of one particular individual group or organization you can in-depth you can say knowledge. Now in social science research, as I belong to commerce management, मैंने psychology भी करा है, economics भी करा है, तो मैंने काफी सारा अलग अलग research topic देखा है. इसके लिए मैं आपको बहुत सारे एग्जाम्पल दे रही हूँ अलग अलग सोशल साइंस रिसर्च के. तो I wrote one paper based on study of PLC, that is product life cycle, and its impact on customer satisfaction or you can say advertising strategies उसके जैसे चेंज होते हैं हर एक स्टेज वाइज. और फिर मैंने क्या किया, मेरे से हो ही नहीं रहा था पूरा उसको करने को, फिर से सर्वे लूं एंड ऑल या किसी एक, फिर मैंने क्या किया, एक कंपनी लिया. तो एक कंपनी लिया मैंने टाटा नैनो का. Why I have taken Tata Nano company? Because I know that how this particular product Tata Nano has seen the failure testing also. How it came, it launched in the market, it saw little bit growth, again drenched, again went to maturity and finally declined. So when we talk about PLC, we have seen there are certain products which have seen this life cycle. How they have seen this life cycle? Come on, VCRs, cassettes, video cassettes, आप लोगों के ये क्या बोलते हैं उसको, स्कूटर्स, बजाज स्कूटर्स, उसके बाद ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट टेलीविजन, ये सब ने पूरा पीएलसी देखा हुआ है, डिक्लाइन होके विड्रॉ भी हो गया मार्केट से. सो एक पर्टिकुलर कंपनी का एक पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट को अगर मैंने इन डेप्थ एनालिसिस किया पीएलसी में, तो मैंने उसको कहा, जब भी मैंने मेंशन किया पेपर में दिस इज द केस स्टडी डिजाइन, तो एकदम वैलिड हुआ, क्योंकि ये ना सर्वे था, ना क्रॉस सेक्शनल था, ना एक्सप्लोरेटरी था, इट वाज समवेयर केस स्टडी मेथड. So when we talk about case study method in social sciences, it will require a single entity's in-depth exploration that can come from documents, that can come from observation, that can come from interviews as such. So example is also given here. Last, yes.
मैम केस स्टडी में कितने मिनिमम रिस्पोंडेंट्स होने चाहिए, जैसे किसी सेक्टर का ही करना है, एरिया का करना है?
तो मैं वही बता रही हूँ ना, देखो इनसाइड केस स्टडी ऑल्सो, if you have in-depth exploration coming from the interviews, coming from the observation, it will depend upon their population. जैसे say for example, मैंने कोई भी एक कंपनी लिया, ठीक है, अभी कंपनी में मुझे मालूम है 400 एम्प्लॉय काम करता है, तो वो उनका पॉपुलेशन है, बराबर. अगर वो उनका पॉपुलेशन है, मैंने एक कंपनी लिया है, वो उनका पॉपुलेशन है, तो लेमैन के लैंग्वेज में बोलूं तो लोग बोलते हैं कि 30% सैम्पलिंग ठीक होता है, लोग ऐसे बोलते हैं. बट अगर आप मॉर्गन फॉर्मूला के थ्रू जाओगे, अगर आप लोग कोचरन फॉर्मूला के थ्रू जाओगे, सो एग्जैक्टली आपको उसका परसेंटेज लगा के एक फॉर्मूला है जिससे आपको मालूम पड़ता है कि 400 अगर मेरा पॉपुलेशन है तो मुझे सैंपल कितना लेना पड़ेगा. वो बेसिकली इट गोज थ्रू द कैलकुलेशन ऑल्सो, कैलकुलेशन पार्ट ऑल्सो, दैट वुड बी ऑफ कोर्स इन योर एफडीपी, दैट वुड बी ऑल्सो कवर्ड. ठीक है, लेकिन मैं आपको ऐसे मोटा मोटा बता देती हूँ कि एक टेबल है जो इसमें बहुत काम आती है कि कितना पॉपुलेशन पे कितना सैंपल लेना है. मैं कोशिश करूंगी ये जब स्लाइड्स खत्म होंगे तो वो टेबल आपको डाल के मैं सर के साथ शेयर करती हूँ, अमोल सर के साथ. ठीक है, चलेगा
मैम? अगर पॉपुलेशन पता ना हो एग्जैक्टली
देखो इसमें फिर से मैं बताती हूँ. मुझे एक बात बताओ, अगर आप कोई केस स्टडी ले रहे हो तो आप एक पर्टिकुलर एंटिटी ले रहे हो, ठीक है. अगर आप एक पर्टिकुलर एंटिटी ले रहे हो, ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है कि पॉपुलेशन नहीं पता है? ठीक है, अग्री टू दिस किया, चलो आपको पॉपुलेशन नहीं मालूम है. जैसे से फॉर एग्जांपल मैंने टाटा ग्रुप लिया, ठीक है, टाटा ग्रुप पे मैंने रिसर्च स्टडी किया और मैंने केस स्टडी डिजाइन बोला, और टाटा ग्रुप तो इतने जगह है, इतने एम्प्लॉइज है, ठीक है, मेरे लिए वो टाइम पे वो इनफाइनाइट पॉपुलेशन है. तो जो मैं आपको टेबल दे रही हूँ ना, उसमें यही दिया हुआ है. If population is known, then how much should be sample size? If population is not known, how much should be sample size? Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So I'll definitely share with you. But otherwise, जैसे मैंने बोला कि 30% आइडियली ऐसे ही मार्केट में आप सुनोगे कि वो बोलते 30%, वो भी 30% कहाँ से आता है? वो भी एक थियरी से ही आता है. ठीक है, तो ऐसे केस में केस स्टडी डिजाइन में आप ऐसे ये एडजस्ट कर सकते हो कि आप कितना इसमें सैंपल लेने वाले हो. लेकिन फिर एक बात याद रखना, वो जहां से भी डेटा आ रहा है वो इन डेप्थ एक्सप्लोरेशन से आ रहा है, इसके लिए उसको हम लोग केस स्टडी डिजाइन बोले. कम ऑन टेल मी, इफ यू आर डूइंग एनी पीएचडी ओनली ऑन वन एंटिटी, तो वो पीएचडी का रिलेवेंस या वो मेजर और माइनर रिसर्च का रिलेवेंस तभी होगा जब ये आपने इन डेप्थ एक्सप्लोरेशन किया है। और इसके लिए खास कर लोग क्या करते हैं, आई टेल यू, इन डेप्थ एक्सप्लोरेशन के लिए पॉपुलेशन जितना ही सैंपल ले लेते हैं। कैन यू टेल मी व्हाई? Can you tell me why in case study it is very much essential that population जितना ही sample ले लो, because you are proving certain facts based on one particular entity, or one particular entity becomes whole when you have many things coming together. So somewhere जहाँ पे population countable है, जैसे आपने बोला finite है, वहाँ पे लोग पूरा population भी लेते हैं, ठीक है, लेकिन फिर भी it will go through a formula method that I'll explain.
That means it is like you are considering the whole universe, right?
Yes, because it is somewhere related to case study. I am saying that some research design will come with whole population study. But ideally, if it is not possible, even in case study, how can you take it?
Yeah.
So
but-
there some threshold limits are given.
Yeah. So for case study, you can also use the Kresham-Morgan formula.
Yes. Pochrans and Morgans. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
But
Thank you.
that when you have, you know, there are many elements in your universe, population बड़ा है, तभी आप known है unknown है वो अलग बात छोड़ दो, तभी आप उसको थोड़ा सा डिस्टिल करके लेते हो, ठीक है। अभी जैसे से फॉर एग्जांपल अगर केस स्टडी मेथड कोई साइकोलॉजिस्ट लेता है, वो एक पेशेंट पे लेता है, would he prefer to lose any of the fact relating to patient? Would he prefer?
No.
है ना, because there the you can say universe is limited, so it is possible कि उसके parents को भी interview किया, उसके neighbors को भी किया, get it?
Right.
That way, yes. So next we have mixed method design. Now when we talk about mixed method design, it will combine exploratory, descriptive together, therefore it is known as qualitative, quantitative, but it will be having both the research questions in mind. What both research questions? One, what will be factors, जो भी उसका title है, to collect the numerical data based on the demographic and preferences. Other one will be exploring new novel variables. So आप अगर इसमें एक example देख सकते हो जो दिया हुआ है, study investigating factors influencing student choices, which will be taken by survey on demographic and preferences, and other will be to explore their motivation and experiences also. So one which is coming the fact from the area of career choices factors, other is talking about motivation experiences. So I need to ask you, career choices का factors का अगर questionnaire बनाया, easy है, ठीक है, कोई भी factor time, money, energy का MCQ दिया वो टिक करेगा, लेकिन जब भी I am talking about motivation and experiences, will that differ? Can I put this into cyclo style method? A, B, C, D? नहीं, हर किसी का मोटिवेशन अलग होगा, हर किसी का एक्सपीरियंस अलग होगा, उसको मैं नहीं ले दे सकती, ये यूनिक वेरिएबल है। तो जब भी ना किसी भी स्टडी में दोनों चीजें साथ में कंबाइन करके क्वालिटेटिव वे से भी प्रूव की जाती हैं, क्वांटिटेटिव से भी की जाती है, दैट बिकम्स योर मिक्स्ड मेथड डिजाइन। मार्केटिंग में ये बहुत यूज होता है। कैसे? मार्केटिंग में कोई भी आप एक टॉपिक ले लो, पहले तो क्वांटिटेटिवली कस्टमर एक्सपीरियंस, कस्टमर सेटिस्फेक्शन वो सब जान लेते हैं, बाद में एक और उसमें ऐड करते हैं कि वी नीड टू फाइंड अ न्यू वेरिएबल कमिंग आउट ऑफ द मार्केटिंग स्ट्रेटजीज व्हिच आर इम्पैक्टिंग कस्टमर्स। तो एवरी डे इज द टेस्टिंग डे फॉर मार्केट। व्हाई? बिकॉज कस्टमर साइकी इज गोइंग ऑन चेंजिंग। सो आई से दैट मार्केटिंग में मिक्स्ड मेथड डिजाइन बहुत यूज होता है। तो ऐसे केस में जब भी मैं जहां से चालू की हूँ मैं वापस आती हूँ, क्योंकि मेरे पास बहुत कुछ है एक्सप्लेन करने को। एक्सप्लोरेटरी किया हमने, डिस्क्रिप्टिव किया, वी हैव सीन आल्सो एक्सपेरिमेंटल एंड क्वाजी एक्सपेरिमेंटल, कोरिलेशन, लॉन्गिट्यूडिनल, देन वी हैव सीन क्रॉस सेक्शनल केस स्टडी, मिक्स मेथड। नाउ आई वांट टू जंप टू मेन स्लाइड, जहां से आपको मुझे बताना है कि कौन सा डिजाइन किधर सूटेबल होगा। ये मैं थोड़ा सा क्विक जाती हूँ कि टॉपिक सोशल साइंस रिसर्च में आप कैसे लेते हो, डेटा पर्सपेक्टिव से लेते हो, यूटिलिटी पर्सपेक्टिव से लेते हो। व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट यूटिलिटी पर्सपेक्टिव, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द क्वालिटेटिव डेटा। व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट डेटा कितना मिलेगा, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट क्वांटिटेटिव न्यूमेरिकल डेटा। सो फीजिएबल है कि नहीं डेटा, टाइम कितने में हमें कितना टाइम में वो डेटा कलेक्ट होगा, यूटिलिटी पर्सपेक्टिव में आप देखते हो सोशल वैल्यू, सोशल प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करेगा कि नहीं, अप्लाइड इन नेचर होगा कि नहीं। ठीक है, इसमें भी अलग अलग डिजाइन हो सकते हैं। जैसे यूटिलिटी की अगर बात करोगे, अगर मुझे सोसाइटी को कुछ देना ही है, आई गो थ्रू एक्सप्लोरेटरी। अगर मुझे डेटा पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से जाना है तो आई गिव यू ओनली सेम साइक्लोस्टाइल रिसर्च पेपर बना दिया और डिस्क्राइब कर दिया। अगेन आई टेल यू एक्सप्लेनेटरी मेथड भी है जो मैंने यहाँ पे नहीं डाला है, बट मैं बताती हूँ क्या है। देन कमिंग टू सोशल साइंस रिसर्च के टॉपिक्स क्या हो सकते हैं, क्वेश्चन से आते हैं, लिटरेचर से आते हैं, थियरीज से आते हैं, आपके प्रॉब्लम एरियाज बाद में आप उनमें से बनाते हो। फिर आपके टॉपिक सिलेक्शन बेसिस में फनल भी होता है यूज, और ये पैरामीटर्स होते हैं, वो 3 पैरामीटर्स होते हैं। डेटा एंड सैंपल रिक्वायरमेंट्स होते हैं, देन यू हैव एरिया स्पेसिफाइड, देन यू हैव वेरिएबल कंसीडर्ड। आई विल गिव यू एग्जांपल इन द एंड कि ये तीनों वेरिएबल्स कैसे यूज हुए। तो डेटा एंड सैंपल, यू ऑल नो दैट कौन से रिस्पोंडेंट से कौन है। अभी अभी आपने केस स्टडी पे मुझे पूछा, तो डेटा आ रहा है एक पर्टिकुलर कंपनी से, लेकिन मेरे सैंपल रिक्वायरमेंट्स कितने, मेरे सैंपल रिस्पोंडेंट्स कौन होंगे। अगर कौन होंगे तो बहुत 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 जने होंगे, क्रॉस सेक्शनल बन जाएगा। इसके लिए मैं हर एक स्लाइड में मेरा डिजाइन छुपा हुआ है। देन यू हैव वेरिएबल्स टू बी स्टडीड, देन यू हैव एरिया। व्हाई एरिया? बिकॉज ज्योग्राफिकली यू हैव टू लिमिट योरसेल्फ, यू कांट से दैट this will solve the problem of whole India. No, you have to give the area geographical coverage also, and again variables also. Why variables? Because variables are something which are coming from the construct. Construct is coming from theory. That is, you have to define it, operationalization करते हो उसमें, so that way. And this is very basic slide which is talking about social science research topic कहाँ से आएगा, ऑब्जर्वेशन से आएगा, करंट इवेंट से आएगा, सोसाइटी के नीड से आएगा, प्रॉब्लम दैट रिक्वायर सोल्यूशन से आएगा, रीडिंग बुक्स एंड आर्टिकल से आएगा, पर्सनल सोर्सेज, नॉन स्कॉलरली सोर्सेज, स्कॉलरली सोर्सेज। गैप्स कैसे आइडेंटिफाई करोगे? बिकॉज आई थिंक सो इन दिस योर entire FDP there will be someone who will be talking about gaps also. Okay, so any which ways I'm going to give the slides PPT to sir. ये है कुछ ऐसा जो मैंने नटशेल में अलग अलग रिसर्च पेपर आज तक जो लिखे हैं या आज तक जो गाइड किए हैं उसका क्लासिफिकेशन डिजाइन के हिसाब से किया है। ठीक है, तो जब भी मैं बात करती हूँ कि पहला पहला जो मेरा ये है हिस्टोरिकल है, लॉन्गिट्यूडनल जिसको मैं कहती हूँ, इसमें क्या होता है, कुछ इवेंट्स होते हैं, पास्ट इवेंट्स होते हैं, उनको क्रोनोलॉजिकल ऑर्डर में डालते हो। जैसे मैंने कहा एलपीजी के पहले भी कोई स्टडी हुआ, ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट में, एलपीजी के बाद भी इसमें काम आता है आपको प्रीवियस डेटा भी, एग्जिस्टिंग डेटा भी। और इसका एग्जांपल है, मैंने एक पेपर गाइड किया था जिसमें था CAGR ऑफ एनी सेक्टर। सो CAGR कंबाइंड एनुअल ग्रोथ रेट, सो कंबाइंड एनुअल ग्रोथ रेट ऑफ एनी, एक QSR वाला किया था, एक बैंक्स के किए थे, तो दैट बिकम लॉन्गिट्यूडनल कि बैंक ने throughout the you can say banking reforms, first generation reform, second generation reform, बैंक ने कैसा ट्रेंड दिखाया है in terms of CAGR। तो ये बन गया मेरा लॉन्गिट्यूडनल। फिर आया डिस्क्रिप्टिव। डिस्क्रिप्टिव में इवेंट्स को डिस्क्राइब करते हो, अगर इवेंट्स को एक्सप्लेन करते हो तो एक्सप्लेनेटरी, लेकिन अगर इवेंट्स को डिस्क्राइब करते हो हु व्हाट हाउ मच, क्वांटिटेटिव होगा। क्वांटिटेटिव होगा तो जैसे मुझे किसी रूरल एरिया का सिर्फ माइक्रो फाइनेंस में कितने लोग जुड़े हुए हैं, वो क्या क्या वो कर रहे हैं SHG में, मुझे वो जानना है, तो दैट विल बिकम माय डिस्क्रिप्टिव डिजाइन। ऑफ कोर्स मैं इसके आगे भी आऊंगी कि कैसे मैंने ये सब बनाए हैं। देन आई हैव कोरिलेशनल डिजाइन। कहीं कहीं इसको कॉज एंड इफेक्ट, कॉजल डिजाइन भी बोला जाता है, क्योंकि उसमें डिपेंडेंट और इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल होता है। तो एक मेरे 2 रिसर्च थे, एक था एडवर्टाइजमेंट एंड सेल, यू नो विच इज डिपेंडेंट विच इज इंडिपेंडेंट। सो इफ आई एम कंसिडरिंग द sales as my dependent on advertisement, yes, theories have proved. And if I say today youngsters ka mental health and physical health because of social media usage, yes, that is the causal or correlational design. Then we have comparative designs also. Now ये तो हमें मालूम थे, कुछ डिजाइन्स मैंने ऐसे ही डाले हैं, और उसमें मैंने कंपैरेटिव वर्ड क्यों डाला है, बिकॉज आप लोग ना वो थीसिस में या आपके ऑब्जेक्टिव्स में या आपके रिसर्च क्वेश्चन में या फिर ऐसा बोल सकते हो रिसर्च टाइटल में लेते हो कंपैरेटिव स्टडी, कंपैरेटिव एनालिसिस। सो व्हाट यू आर ट्राइंग टू डू, you try to compare 2 or more periods, you try to compare 2 or more events, you try to compare 2 or more entities. So financial performance of 2 banks, say for example, कट टू कट आईसीआईसीआई एचडीएफसी दोनों पॉपुलर है इन टर्म्स ऑफ रिटेल एंड दैट बैंकिंग इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकिंग, तो उनको आप लोग देख लोगे दोनों का कंपैरेटिव एनालिसिस। देन एक्सपेरिमेंटल मैंने बात किया, कॉजी एक्सपेरिमेंटल भी मैंने बात किया, जिसमें मैंने बोला कि कंपनीज क्या करते हैं, मार्केटिंग में भी ये होता है, जानबूझ के फेस्टिवल जान आने वाला होता है, स्कीम्स और ऑफर्स लागू कर देते हैं और फिर देखते हैं कि सेल्स बढ़ा कि नहीं। तो ये एक्सपेरिमेंटल भी है, बाद में बन जाता है कोरिलेशनल। साइमुलेशन बहुत चल रहा है आजकल। साइमुलेशन में आप मॉडल बना देते हो और मॉडल में आप लोग टेस्ट करते हो कि ऑलरेडी जो मॉडल बना हुआ है, मेरा जो सैंपल है जिससे डेटा लिया मॉडल के स्केल पे, वो बराबर उसके साथ फिट हो रहा है कि नहीं। तो यू ट्राई टू सी, यहाँ पे मैंने एग्जांपल दिया, मैं बहुत इंटरेस्टेड थी ये पेपर करने में, मैं आज तक नहीं कर पाई हूँ। मॉडल ऑफ कंज्यूमर बिहेवियर और सर्वक्यूअल इन डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। सो यू हैव ऑलरेडी कंज्यूमर बिहेवियर मॉडल और यू हैव ऑलरेडी सर्वक्यूअल मॉडल। आप कोई भी एक अपना होटल सेगमेंट ले लो और उसमें 10-12 होटल ले लो, उसमें सर्वक्यूअल मॉडल से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस पूछ लो, वो आपके पास आंसर्स आएंगे, आप फिर उसमें से मॉडल बनाओ। तो आजकल जो स्ट्रक्चर इक्वेशन मॉडलिंग पीएलएस से मॉडल बनाते हैं, वो पहले क्या होता है, पहले कंफर्मेट एक्सप्लोरेटरी एनालिसिस होता है, उसके बाद कंफर्मेटरी एनालिसिस करते हैं और फिर बाद में वेरिएबल्स छाट छाट के आगे लेके जाते हैं, फिर मॉडल बिठाने की कोशिश करते हैं जिसमें इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल होता है, डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल होता है, मॉडरेटिंग वेरिएबल और मीडिएटिंग वेरिएबल होता है। ये हायर लेवल है जो हम बाद में डिस्कस कर सकते हैं ऑफ कोर्स। देन यू हैव evaluation design. Evaluation में you just see the appraisal, just see the profitability, you see the growth and development related things where you try to give answers to the questions like whether it is increasing, decreasing, whether profits are moving in the right direction, whether the cost benefit have the benchmarks. So evaluation research. Then you have action research. Now why action research? बिकॉज एक्शन रिसर्च हमें बीएड में बहुत कराया जाता था, जिसमें हमें बताया जाता था कि कोई ना कोई एक बिहेवियर आप लोग इंट्रोड्यूस करो और देखो कि बच्चों में फर्क क्या पड़ा है। सो वी हैव इंक्रीजिंग क्वालिटी ऑफ टीचिंग लर्निंग प्रोसेस बाय इंट्रोड्यूसिंग वन मेथड एंड सीइंग द रिजल्ट। आप बोलोगे कि ये सेम चीज आपने एक्सपेरिमेंट में भी बोली, यस मैंने बोली, लेकिन एक्शन रिसर्च में क्या होता है, बाकायदा जो पर्सन इन्वॉल्व है, जो जिसके ऊपर हम लोग एक्सपेरिमेंट कर रहे हैं, वो भी अपने ओपिनियन देता है और उस हिसाब से हम लोग रिसर्च के वेरिएबल्स जो हैं वो बनाते हैं। Then you have feminist research, gender-based data जहाँ जहाँ आएगा, significant differences in gender literacy, in perception, likes, like यहाँ पे example दिया हुआ investment avenue in women, comparison with the men, that will become the feminist topic. तो ये ऐसे ही नटशल में कुछ टॉपिक्स को लेके मैंने ऐसे डिजाइन रिलेटेड चीज बनाई है, लेकिन मेरा मेन जो टेक अवे फॉर द डे है वो यहाँ से है, जहाँ से मुझे आपको बताना है कि कैसे कौन सा पेपर पढ़ के हमें मालूम पड़े कि कौन सी डिजाइन सूटेबल होगी। तो मैं अपने ना 4 पेपर्स यहाँ पे लेके आई हूँ और मैं उनको पढ़ना चाहूंगी। सबसे पहला है मेरा स्टडी ऑफ होम लोन सिस्टम या प्रोसीजर ऑफ एसबीआई बैंक। ठीक है, मैं जब भी रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी पे लेती हूँ तो मैं सिर्फ उनसे पूछती हूँ कि यूनिवेरिएट बाइवेरिएट है कि मल्टीवेरिएट है, और मुझे पार्टिसिपेंट से आंसर मिलता है और फिर उसके बाद बोलती हूँ कि अभी आप इसमें से ऑब्जेक्टिव्स हाइपोथेसिस देखो और अपने क्वेश्चंस और प्रॉब्लम बनाओ। तो ये हम लोग एक्सरसाइज करते हैं जो जब भी मेरे लेक्चर्स थोड़े से एडवांस होते हैं, लेकिन आज मैं यहाँ पे ये स्टडी ऑफ होम लोन सिस्टम ऑफ एसबीआई बैंक अगर पेपर ले रही हूँ तो कौन कौन से डिजाइन यहाँ पे एप्लीकेबल होंगे। तो देख लीजिए कि एक्चुअली सर्वे करेंगे तो डिस्क्रिप्टिव रिसर्च डिजाइन यहाँ पे यूज होगा, एक्सप्लेनेटरी यूज होगा, कंपैरेटिव भी यूज होगा, लॉन्गिट्यूडनल भी यूज होगा, एक्सपेरिमेंटल भी यूज होगा। व्हाई डिस्क्रिप्टिव क्यों यूज होगा? जब भी मैं जितने लोगों ने लोन लिया है उनके सर्वेज आप देख सकते हो, मैंने सब लिखा है, सर्वे इंटरव्यू और ये सब उनसे ले रही हूँ होम लोन ऑफरिंग के। एक्सप्लेनेटरी कभी होगा, मैं जब भी बताती हूँ व्हाई सर्टेन पीपल चूज एसबीआई ओनली एज अ होम लोन एंटिटी, तो वो टाइम पे ये व्हाई जो पर्टिकुलर फैक्टर है ये आपका रिसर्च क्वेश्चन भी बन जाएगा, तो ये एक्सप्लेनेटरी बन जाएगा। कंपैरेटिव डिजाइन जब भी होगा जब भी मैं एसबीआई को किसी और से भी कंपेयर करती हूँ और उसके फाइनेंशियल एनालिसिस होम लोन से वो कितना कमा लेता है वो कर कंपेयर करती हूँ, तो ये कंपैरेटिव होगा। ऑल्दो यहाँ पे कुछ ऐसा कंपैरेटिव जैसा है नहीं क्योंकि सिर्फ एक ही बैंक है, ठीक है, मैं इसका फ्यूचर स्कोप बता रही हूँ। लॉन्गिट्यूडनल कभी होगा? आज से 10 साल पहले का होम लोन सिस्टम देखो और आज का देखो, यू विल फाइंड अ डे नाइट डिफरेंस, बिकॉज आजकल बहुत सारी चीजें ई बैंकिंग से पेपरलेस हो गई हैं और कुछ कठिनाइयां भले बढ़ गई हैं, लेकिन एक्सपीरियंसेस थोड़े से फेवरेबल हैं, क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट वांट्स की ऐसे लोन्स जो हैं वो अच्छे से दिए जाएं बहुत कम रेट्स में, बिकॉज एवरीबडी हैव राइट टू प्रॉपर्टी एंड ऑल दैट फंडा एंड ऑल. So longitudinal research. Then experimental research design. How can I have experimental research design wherein I am having two groups? One group who has taken home loan from SBI, other group who has not even gone for home loan. So I'm going to check their preferences relating to SBI, whether SBI you will go for SBI or not. So this way, these all research design will go to this particular study of home loan. Then I have one more topic: impact of CSR on firms' financial performance. आई होप दैट एवरीबडी नो CSR एंटिटीज क्या कमाल करते हैं और उनका गुडविल और रेपुटेशन जो है वो डायरेक्टली या इनडायरेक्टली CSR से आके उनके फाइनेंशियल परफॉर्मेंस पे रिफ्लेक्ट होता है कि नहीं, मुझे यही जानना था इम्पैक्ट. तो ऑब्जेक्टिव्स मैंने क्वेश्चन इसमें से बनाए, रिसर्च क्वेश्चन में से बनाए, हाइपोथेसिस मैंने रिसर्च प्रॉब्लम में से बनाए. तो उस हिसाब से इफ आई हैव टू सी व्हाट काइंड ऑफ रिसर्च डिजाइन विल गो विद दिस. सो कैन यू सी दिस impact of CSR on firm financial performance? So I can go longitudinal. How can I go longitudinal? Any answer? How can I go longitudinal?
Because you will see the like what we can before and
Over the
after
years, yes,
over the
over
period
the
of
years,
time.
how
Yeah.
CSR practices have been emerged,
Yes.
है ना?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
they have advanced, because
Yeah.
nowadays वही है, जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. तो CSR practices, हाँ, CSR practices अभी ज्यादा एडवांस हो गए हैं. वो आपको डायरेक्टली या इनडायरेक्टली एक कॉर्पोरेट ब्रांडिंग स्ट्रेटेजी है, लेट मी टेल यू. ओके, देन यू हैव quasi experimental. How quasi experimental? How can I say that becomes quasi experimental? What is quasi experimental, by the way?
Comparison between
I am going to compare the two similar firms, one having CSR and its impact on financial performance, one not having. If it goes over the period, it becomes longitudinal. If it matches with the sister concern of that particular entity, it becomes quasi experimental. है ना? How it is cross sectional? क्रॉस सेक्शनल मतलब डेटा एक जगह से नहीं आएगा, डेटा सब जगह से आएगा. सो कैन यू टेल मी दैट डेटा कहाँ कहाँ से आना चाहिए अगर फाइनेंशियल परफॉर्मेंस की बात हो रही है? इट विल कम फ्रॉम द पॉलिसी मेकर्स, इजंट इट? It will, can I say that it has to come from the market also? Because
it will come from all the stakeholders.
Yes, so that way it will become cross sectional in one or the other way, because who are engaging with your CSR, that also matters, na? Right? So that way you have to also see financial reports also, you have to see regression. क्यों regression लिखा हुआ है, इसके पीछे reason है. Statistically if I have to go, I can explain that. Case study research क्यों बनेगा? Yes, it can go. People go with the Tata, Reliance and have कल ही मेरे पास एक स्टूडेंट आया टीवाई का, बोला कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. मैंने बोला कुछ जिधर समझ में नहीं आया ना टॉपिक मेरे से पूछ, केस स्टडी लगा दे उस पे, है ना? बिकॉज कोई भी एक पर्टिकुलर फर्म ले लो, कोई भी एक फिलैंथ्रोपिक इंस्टीट्यूट ले लो और उसके ऊपर आप ये बहुत अच्छे से कर सकते हो, तो केस स्टडी बन जाएगा. मेटा एनालिसिस, यस आई नीड टू टेल यू मेटा एनालिसिस. व्हाट इज मेटा एनालिसिस? बाय द वे, जिन भी स्टडीज ने CSR का इम्पैक्ट फाइनेंशियल परफॉर्मेंस पे पॉजिटिवली या नेगेटिवली दिखाया है, वो सब स्टडीज को, मल्टीपल स्टडीज को लेना अपने डिजाइन में और उनसे एक कौन कौन से वेरिएबल्स है, पैटर्न्स क्या दिखे तुमको, एरियाज क्या दिखे, ये सब को हम लोग मेटा एनालिसिस बोलते हैं. तो अगर मैं इसको ना एकदम एकदम रॉ लैंग्वेज में बोलती हूँ, तो जितने भी बिब्लियोमेट्रिक पेपर्स हैं, जितने भी SLR सिस्टमैटिक लिटरेचर रिव्यू है, उसमें यही होता है कि मेरा वाला टॉपिक पहले वाले रिसर्चर ने क्या 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 फाइंड आउट किया है, तो बन जाता है मेटा एनालिसिस रिसर्च डिजाइन. ये मैंने कहीं पे भी पहले एक्सप्लेन नहीं किया, यहाँ पे क्यों कर रही हूँ? क्योंकि ये न्यू रिसर्च डिजाइन आजकल जो है ना, लोगों को मालूम होने चाहिए. जैसे मैंने पहले एक्सप्लेनेटरी भी नहीं किया, बट यू शुड नो एवरीथिंग, बस these are taken from reference books. Then you have something called as study of factors influencing preference toward, ये मैंने कोविड के टाइम लिखा था. कितने सारे यंगस्टर्स अलग अलग टाइप के वर्क फ्रॉम होम कर रहे थे, और उसके ऑब्जेक्टिव्स और हाइपोथेसिस, मैंने जैसे कहा पहले क्वेश्चन मन में आता था वो डालती थी ऑब्जेक्टिव में, उसके प्रॉब्लमेटिक स्टेटमेंट्स बनाती थी, फिर हाइपोथेसिस में दिखाती थी। तो ऐसा करके अगर मैं ये देखती हूँ फैक्टर्स, इसमें कौन कौन सा रिसर्च डिजाइन जाएगा, सबसे पहला सर्वे जाएगा। व्हाई? because I have to survey down those people who are working from home, and why do they prefer working from home. I'm not talking about COVID period because that was the हम लोगों का मजबूरी का पीरियड था, उसमें वर्क फ्रॉम होम ही करना था। बाकी का क्योंकि वर्क फ्रॉम होम इतना, मैंने जब ये ऑपरेशनलाइजेशन किया था इसका इतना बड़ा मतलब एक पूरी बुक लिखी हुई है कि वर्क फ्रॉम होम में क्या क्या चीजें आती हैं। तो सर्वे, फिर उसके बाद क्वालिटेटिव। व्हाई क्वालिटेटिव? बिकॉज यहाँ पे मुझे एक नया फैक्टर में नया वेरिएबल ढूंढना था इंटरव्यू लेके कि वर्क फ्रॉम होम कौन से एंगल से बुरा है। मैंने क्या पाया कौन से एंगल से बुरा है, घर के लिए काम, घर के लिए वक्त ही नहीं बचता है। देर इज नो डिफरेंस इन वर्क एंड होम, है ना। वर्क फ्रॉम होम में देर इज नो डिफरेंस इन वर्क एंड होम, फ्रॉम निकाल दो, वर्क इज होम इज वर्क, दैट बिकेम। सो क्वालिटेटिव। व्हाई मिक्स्ड मेथड? बिकॉज आप यहाँ पे सर्वे ले रहे हो, यहाँ पे इंटरव्यू ले रहे हो, तो मिक्स्ड मेथड रिसर्च डिजाइन भी जा सकते हो। व्हाई लॉन्गिट्यूडनल? यू हैव आंसर्ड दैट ओवर द पीरियड। व्हाई केस स्टडी? बिकॉज टेक ओनली फ्यू कम, मैं आपको बताती हूँ उसमें केस स्टडी क्यों। मेरा एक फ्रेंड है, वो टाटा में टीसीएस में काम करता है। जैसे ही कोविड खत्म हुआ, 1 साल तक और उन्होंने घर से काम किया। क्यों? क्योंकि उनके इसमें पॉलिसी था कि जब तक पूरा कोविड वैनिश नहीं हो जाता है, वो तो हुआ नहीं, लेकिन उन्होंने हमसे ज्यादा वर्क फ्रॉम होम पीरियड एंजॉय किया। तो अगर आप देखोगे ना, कोई कोई कॉर्पोरेट्स में ये केस स्टडी रिसर्च डिजाइन जाएगा जब वर्क फ्रॉम होम की बात कर रहे हो, बिकॉज क्यों उन्होंने ऐसा लिया डिसीजन। वो क्वालिटेटिव भी जाएगा और वो केस स्टडी से भी आएगा। एंड लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट, ये भी मेरे एक फ्रेंड ने, मेरे कलीग ने किया था रिसर्च पेपर, साइबर क्राइम में सर्च होना पेंडेमिक के दौरान। तो वो टाइम पे कौन सा डिजाइन हमने डिस्कस किया था। हमने बोला था पहले तो तू ना क्वांटिटेटिवली ले कि कौन कौन से फ्रॉड्स हो रहे हैं और लोग मोबाइल कितना यूज करते हैं, कितना आवर्स एंड ऑल, सब क्राइम रिपोर्ट्स ले, तो क्वांटिटेटिव गया। सर्वे, क्योंकि सबको क्वेश्चंस बना के दिए कि कितना उन लोगों को क्या क्या उसमें एक्सपीरियंस हुआ, तो न्यूमेरिकल डेटा पूरा आया। क्वालिटेटिव, क्योंकि हमें तो ऐसे केसेस मालूम पड़े, ऐसे न्यू फ्रॉड्स और स्कैम्स का मालूमात पड़ा, जो हमने सोचा कि इसको क्वालिटेटिव देते हैं भाई नाम, क्योंकि ओपन एंडेड क्वेश्चन भी था, एनी फ्रॉड विच यू हैव एक्सपीरियंस। फिर केस स्टडी रिसर्च डिजाइन, अगेन किसी एक पर्टिकुलर कंपनी का लेके उन एम्प्लॉइज ने कितना फ्रॉड और स्कैम उसमें एक्सपीरियंस किया है। So there are certain corporates, there are certain entities which are highly prone and critical for cyber crimes and frauds. You can take their case studies also. Because say for example banking, है ना, जितना ज्यादा बैंक के नाम पे जमतारा से फ्रॉड हो रहा है, नहीं होता है किसमें भी। Then you have mixed methods research design. Mixed method will involve everything. So ये मेरा टेक अवे था. It is coming from this table also. It is coming from research design one by one, which I have explained also. And I was very amazed to see this particular diagram, which proven that whatever things are given in this diagram can be explained with the help of slides and with the help of different research papers which I have written in my lifetime, and what treatment I have given. So here I am, Dr. Kiran, saying thank you to all for patient listening, and your questions amaze me, because through your questions I come to know whether I can do justice, whether you are satisfied or not. So again I request Amol sir to take this session ahead to another session if you have interaction with the audience and all.
Ma'am, if we are studying working and living conditions of workers in some state, so which design will you suggest?
I would, first of all, nowadays I suggest to everyone, go with mixed method design. Okay, why mixed method design? I'll tell you a reason. Quantitatively, you are going to describe their living condition, what is their income, what is their pattern, you can say all those things. But why I say कि mixed method डालो, क्योंकि कोई ना कोई एक नया वेरिएबल आपको ओपन एंडेड क्वेश्चन से मिलेगा, आपको ज्यादा इंटरव्यूज लेने से मिलेगा, which you have to understand, and then you can make a theory out of it also. So that way I can say that yes, there is one more question. क्या केस स्टडी क्वालिटेटिव है कि क्वांटिटेटिव है? जैसे मैंने कहा कि क्वालिटेटिव इसको क्यों माना जाता है, बिकॉज इट इज इन डेप्थ एक्सप्लोरेशन, इंटरव्यूज, योर ऑब्जर्वेशन ऑल बिकम्स पार्ट ऑफ केस स्टडी. बट व्हेन आई टॉक अबाउट सोशल साइंस रिसर्च, जिसमें कुछ टॉपिक्स होते हैं जिसमें हम लोग केस एग्जांपल ऑफ एनी कंपनी लेते हैं, जिसमें हमें क्रॉस सेक्शनल ऑडियंस से डेटा मिलता है, तो समवेयर इट इज आल्सो इन्वॉल्विंग डिस्क्रिप्टिव मोड आल्सो. Okay, so some description are also coming, but nevertheless consider case study as qualitative. Yes, I am going to share my PPT also. You will have
Ma'am, one question I am having.
Yeah.
If we are writing a paper on related to some literature review, I reviewed something and I am writing a paper on that. तो वो कौन से वाले में फॉल करेगा?
मैडम मेटा एनालिसिस. ठीक है, मेटा
एनालिसिस एक बार फिर एक्सप्लेन कीजिए ना.
हाँ, अभी देखो, जैसे से फॉर एग्जांपल मेरा एक पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक है जिसमें पहले वाले रिसर्चर्स ने बहुत कुछ बोला है. ठीक है, तो पहले वाले रिसर्चर्स मुझे 10-20 हेल्दी रिसर्च एकदम मेरे टॉपिक से रिलेटेड मिल रहे हैं. ठीक है, तो अगर मैं उन सब रिसर्च को ध्यान में रखते हुए, मैं ऐसे करती हूँ, मैं खुद के पेपर जब भी लिखती हूँ, मैं एक में उनका रिसर्च क्वेश्चन लिखती हूँ, टेबल बनाती हूँ, उनका रिसर्च क्वेश्चन लिखती हूँ, और एक कॉलम में उनका आउटकम वेरिएबल लिखती हूँ. तो रिसर्च क्वेश्चन किसने क्या सॉल्व किया, उसका आउटकम वेरिएबल उनको क्या मिला, उसमें से मैं देखती हूँ कि अगर कुछ मुझे अगर अच्छे से करना है तो मुझे गैप इंट्रोड्यूस करना पड़ेगा आगे के रिसर्च के लिए. तो मेटा एनालिसिस, यस, तो मेटा एनालिसिस कभी होता है जब भी आप काफी सारे रिसर्चर्स इन हैंड, उनके रिसर्च क्वेश्चन और उनके रिसर्च के आउटकम वेरिएबल के उन्होंने क्या पाया. अभी मैं आपसे ये भी बात शेयर करूंगी कि टॉपिक भले सेम हो, मालूम है रिसर्च क्वेश्चंस अलग हो सकते हैं और उनके आउटकम वेरिएबल्स, ऑटोमेटिकली क्वेश्चन अलग है तो आउटकम वेरिएबल भी अलग होगा. अग्री टू दिस फैक्ट?
यस मैम.
यस, लेकिन इसमें मुझे कहाँ से काम आएगा, क्योंकि मैंने जो एक आपको ना स्लाइड दिखाया जिसमें मैंने बताया कि आपका टॉपिक यूनिक कैसे जाएगा, वो फनल से. वो फनल में क्या था, एक जगह था कि आपका टॉपिक यहाँ वेरिएबल से अलग जाएगा, यहाँ एरिया से अलग जाएगा, यहाँ डेटा, क्वांटिटेटिव डेटा से अलग जाएगा. तो उस हिसाब से मेटा एनालिसिस वहां पे काम आता है मैडम.
यस मैम, थैंक यू. नाउ आई अंडरस्टूड.
यस यस, हाँ, आप बोल सकते हैं. सागर एंड लक्ष्मी, आपने रेज किया है हैंड, आप पूछ सकते हैं. बिकॉज आई फील सो दैट दिस पर्टिकुलर रिसर्च डिजाइन मेरे लिए भी एक न्यू थिंग था 15-20 इयर्स बैक. मतलब मैं तो समझ ही नहीं पाती थी, बट जितना मैंने इसमें पेपर्स पढ़े, जितना मैंने इसके रेफरेंस बुक पढ़े, जितने पेपर्स लिखे, तो मुझे ये हुआ. हाँ, ऑन माय टॉपिक आई गॉट राम प्रताप जी का क्वेश्चन है. पता नहीं वापस चला जाता. Yeah, anything you want to know, because these messages are.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me.
Is there any criteria that only the field research design can be used? Like as you have shown in some research topics.
सर, हाँ, मैं बताती हूँ. इसमें भी एक थियरी, मतलब कल जो मैंने रेफरेंस बुक पढ़ा उसमें ऐसा लिखा हुआ था कि अगर आपको कोई नया थियरी बनाना है, ठीक है, अगर आपको कोई नया थियरी बनाना है या थियरी प्रूव करना है, उस पर डिपेंड करता है. अगर एक नया थियरी बनाते हो तो आप क्या जाते हो, आप इंडक्टिव मेथड से जाते हो. और अगर नया थियरी नहीं, एग्जिस्टिंग थियरी प्रूव करते हो तो आप लोग डिडक्टिव मेथड से जाते हो, जिसको मैंने अभी भी कहा, पॉजिटिविस्ट अप्रोच, इंटरप्रिटेटिव अप्रोच. ठीक है, तो ऐसे कैसे, मैं आपको यहाँ पे एक और एग्जांपल दूंगी. ये स्कोपस वगैरह में पेपर पब्लिश कैसे होते हैं. कैन यू टेल मी वन थिंग कि अगर सोशल मीडिया के हार्मफुल इफेक्ट्स अगर मुझे किसी पर्सन पे टेस्ट करने हो तो मैं क्या क्या वेरिएबल्स ले सकती हूँ? कोई भी बता दो ना, कोई भी ऑडियंस में से बता दो. अगर मैं सोशल मीडिया यूसेज
ऑफ सोशल मीडिया मींस द टाइमिंग.
yes, can I say it is distorting their time management? ठीक है, एक ये. ठीक है, सेकेंड, क्या ऐसा सर आजकल के बच्चों के फिजिकल फिटनेस और मेंटल हेल्थ पे पड़ता है? यस. ठीक है, ये थियरी एक प्रूव हुई है, मेटा एनालिसिस से करोगे तो ये थियरी प्रूव हुई है. ठीक है, तो ऐसे केस में अगर मैं एक नया वेरिएबल इसमें इंट्रोड्यूस करती हूँ, वो नया वेरिएबल ऐसा होगा कि आई नीड टू नो व्हाट इज द पेरेंटिंग कंट्रीब्यूशन इन दिस, पेरेंटिंग कैसा हो रहा है इसके बीच में कंट्रीब्यूशन, तो मैंने एक मॉडरेटिंग वेरिएबल यूज किया, मॉडरेटिंग। सो डोंट यू फील सो, अगर मैं पेरेंटिंग अगर इसमें इंट्रोड्यूस कर रही हूँ तो ये पर्टिकुलर डिजाइन में डेटा सिर्फ बच्चे से नहीं आएगा, माँ बाप से भी आएगा। डू यू फील सो?
Yes, ma'am.
So it became cross sectional then, isn't it?
Yes.
Similarly, अगर मैं इसमें मीडिएटिंग वेरिएबल लेके आती हूँ, मीडिएटिंग वेरिएबल मतलब एक्सेस टू दी टेक्नोलॉजी, किसी बच्चे का एक्सेस टू दी है टेक्नोलॉजी, लैपटॉप है, उसके पास गेम्स हैं, बहुत सारे फोन्स है, पेरेंट्स का फोन नहीं खुद का फोन है, एक मीडिएटिंग वेरिएबल मैं लेके आई, तो क्या आपको नहीं लगता है इसमें से मुझे एक नया वेरिएबल, नया आउटकम मिल सकता है? मतलब
Yes, ma'am. There is a possibility.
यस, तो वो बन जाएगा आपका, वही टाइम वो क्वालिटेटिव बन जाएगा। तो आप जो भी प्रूव करना चाहते हो या आप कोई थियरी बनाना चाहते हो, इस पे डिपेंड करता है रिसर्च डिजाइन कौन सा होगा। ठीक है, मैं इसमें ना एंड में वो रेफरेंस भी डालती हूँ जिससे मैंने ये सब अच्छे से पढ़ा है, आपको बहुत अच्छा लगेगा वो बुक।
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
I have got one thesis in India. I am facing lots of problem. पर्सनल क्वेश्चन है कि आपके थीसिस में क्या प्रॉब्लम है, मैं अपना नंबर एंड ऑल सब दे देती हूँ, ये इंडिविजुअल जो भी प्रॉब्लम्स है वी कैन डिस्कस, है ना, पर्सनली इंडिविजुअली यू कैन कनेक्ट टू मी एंड यू कैन डिस्कस। मुझे थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा क्योंकि मैंने स्लाइड में फोन नंबर, ईमेल आईडी, रेफरेंस बुक नहीं डाला है, वो मैं डाल के आपके साथ शेयर करूँ। हाँ नहीं मैडम, नहीं, अभी मैंने बोला कि आप अगर कोई रिसर्च पेपर में जैसे क्वेश्चन बनाते हो, जैसी इन्वेस्टिगेशन करते हो, तो वो आपके मिक्स्ड मेथड भी लेके आएगा, क्वांटिटेटिव भी क्वालिटेटिव। तो लोग देखो पीएचडी में थीसिस में सेफर साइड होने के लिए क्या डालते हैं वो ये डालते हैं, दिस रिसर्च इज क्वांटिटेटिव एज वेल एज क्वालिटेटिव इन नेचर, डालते हैं कि नहीं? इसके लिए डालते हैं, सेफ खेल रहे हैं वो लोग। एक्चुअली सब क्वांटिटेटिव होता है, नया वेरिएबल हार्डली आपको दिखेगा, लेकिन फिर वो ओपन एंडेड क्वेश्चन डाल के या जानबूझ के दिखा के इंटरव्यू लिया, एक नया कंस्ट्रक्ट लेके आते हैं और प्रूव करते हैं कि दिस वाज समवेयर वी फाउंड सम यूनिक वेरिएबल, है ना। बट try to read more and more paper of you can say Scopus और ABDC जर्नल, उसमें अच्छे अच्छे पेपर्स देखो, उसमें आपको बाकायदा डिस्टिंग्विश जो आपका मन में क्वेश्चन आता है ना कि क्वांटिटेटिव कैसे हुआ, क्वालिटेटिव कैसे हुआ, समझेगा। लेकिन उसके लिए आपको जो मैं स्लाइड्स आज एक्सप्लेन किया ना वो समझना जरूरी है। Yeah. So we will connect individually. I am going to share these slides with sir, consisting of my information. And wonderful audience, thank you very much. Once again, hearty thankful to college, Ramkrishna More College, for inviting me, having me, and giving me this particular topic which is near to my heart, that is research design.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Very informative
Thank you, ma'am.
session.
Thank you very much. On the
Yes.
behalf of Professor Ramkrishna More ACS College, thank you very much. So you taught very well, and actually I am a science background faculty here, but every single word I understood yours. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
So now I request Dr. Pratik Shinde for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Very nice session.
Thank you so much.
Thank you much, sir. Respected speaker, faculty member, and all participants, thank you very much for organizing team for giving me the chance here for expressing my vote of thanks for the third session of 10 days National Capacity Building Program on Research Methodology and Magic of Statistics organized by the PDS Professor Ramkrishna More, ACS Autonomous College, Pune, has been remarkable journey for the knowledge and skill enhancement. First and foremost, I extend my heartfelt thanks to our respected speaker or guest speaker, Dr. Kiran ma'am, whose insightful session on the research design in social science and added significant value to our understanding. Your expertise and passion have truly enriched our learning experience, and we are grateful for your valuable contribution. I would also like to express my sincere appreciation to our Vice Principal, Dr. B.G. Lobo sir, and Dr. H.B. Sonavane sir for their constant support and encouragement throughout the program. A special note of thanks for the head of the department, Professor S.L. Bhoite sir, for his leadership and dedication in ensuring the program's smoothly execution. And last but not least, I express my sincere thanks to all participants who have actively engaged in the session, making this program a vibrant and interactive learning experience. Your interest and dedication have been driving force behind the success of these initiatives. In conclusion, I would like to express our gratitude to Western Regional Center of ICSSR Mumbai for their sponsorship and support, without which this program would not have been possible. Thank you very much, everyone, for being a part of this enriching journey. We look forward to future collaborations that contribute the academic growth and research excellence in our institution. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Kiran ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank
Yes.
you once again.
Yes.
Bye bye, audience.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, ma'am and sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.